Welcome to the Couch Potato Sports Show, your internet radio home for all sports, news, and talk. Join Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, and the Eagle Eye, Bill Cerna, and the best co-host anyone could ask for, Cuervo. We cover it all. NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, as well as indoor football and high school sports. Now, it's time. Here's Sonny Clark.
Oh, yo, everybody. Welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, as we are here on the premiere show, week number 1 of the NFL. And that being said, by the time we're done with this season, we will roll into the Baker's Dozen. That's right, 13 years of the Couch Potato Sports Show, and it has been a big part of the show is the NFL, and that's just what we do and what we do best. I mean, we try to cover the other stuff, but we really dive into this stuff, and we've been off season. We have been doing the previews for the last month. We have been getting set for this week. And we started out on Thursday night when the Dallas Cowboys got beat by, the superior team. It is Tom Brady. I mean, he is the GOAT. And he that's just what he does. In fact, when Dallas kicked the field goal to take the lead with less than 2 minutes, and it was like a minute 20, minute 30, I went to bed. I said, game's over. Not because the Dallas Cowboys win, because that's what the GOAT does. Gets them in position to kick a field goal, and that's exactly what happened. I woke up, checked the score just to make sure, and sure enough, Tom Brady is Mr. Automatic when you give him too much time at the end of a football game, and it happened yet again. That's just what he does, that just like Mark Henry says, that's just what I do. And that's what he did. He did it well. And guess what? We got to let's. There he is. Mr. Obi-Wan is here. Enjoying the first time, week number 1 here on the NFL. And that being said, there he is. How you doing there? Good to see you, Jimbo. Obi, how's it going?
I'm going good. I'm doing good, man. Ready for week 1. Repping my Cleveland Browns, man.
I'm prepping the Texans, but not because of the Texans, but because of
Tony
Baselli. So that's the reason why I am what I'm at. I'm not wearing this because I'm necessarily a Texans fan. I can't wear my Jaguars stuff. It blends into the back of the green screen. So I decided to go a little bit old school. This is one of their first. This is actually their first jersey. So because that's what Tony Baselli. They picked up Baselli actually in the draft. They got to choose from it. I don't know if they call it a draft or supplemental draft where they can grab up some players.
It's an expansion draft, I think.
That's what it was. Yep. Yeah. And they did not leave they did not cover Tony Baselli, so they went and got him. Not that he played any games for him. Don't get wrong, okay? I don't want anybody to think he played any games. He didn't, but I got the jersey anyway.
Yeah.
So week number 1, we started out Thursday night, Cuervo. We saw what it was. We saw the GOAT.
Come on, buddy.
Hey.
You just call me Cuervo.
Oh, well, it's just habit. Habit. Hey, by the way, folks that don't know, here's the original right there. Whoop, wrong one. That guy right there.
Yes.
That guy right there. I can't do this. I'm not a weatherman. So, that guy right there was actually the original co-host, but life and everything got in the way. But hey, glad to grab him up, 12 years later. Hey, but we got him back here, and that's because his Browns are finally good, so he can finally show his face. So anyway, Obi, I mean, was Thursday night anything different than what you really expected? I mean, come on, it is the Dallas Cowboys. They just have a habit of being who they are, and they ran into the GOAT. They ran into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But interestingly enough, well, I got a couple takes on it. Before I get to it, I'll run to you. What was your take from Thursday Night Football?
Okay, my take of the eventual outcome wasn't shocking.
No, because it was Tampa Bay all the way across on here. So
what was shocking was it was closer than probably what a lot of people thought it was going to be, because supposedly Tampa's defense was supposed to be one of these not the elite defense in the NFL, but pretty damn good.
Yeah,
they didn't lose anybody from last year's defense, who literally confused and shut down Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And so you come out with a cold Dak Prescott, who hadn't played in since weeks 5, 6,
close to a year. Close to a year.
Cold, didn't play any preseason games. I mean, this guy I'm literally coming off the freaking bench, cold as ice. And he comes out here and hey, I'll tell you, this guy right here, me. I love my fantasy football. I love NFL football.
Yeah. By the way, wasn't he on your team? And,
yes, he was.
And wasn't he on the bench, by the way?
He was, yes.
In favor of who? In favor of who?
Tannehill. Don't ask me why. No, I'll tell you why. Because of what I just said. Dak Prescott hadn't played a game in a year. Dak Prescott was coming into the game cold. Dak Prescott was going up against the Tampa defense. I was like, yeah, that's a recipe for, having maybe a pedestrian game.
Ooh, pedestrian. I love it. Hey, a fancy word here. Hey, stop that. I mean, we're on the Couch Potato Sports Show here.
Hey, you see what happens in the old age? Things start to stay in here, and then they come out up front.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing how that works. I know. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Pedestrian.
Hey, ask my daughter. I don't know anything. So
there it is. And by the way, there's DC Dennis Clark. That's my brother. He is the defending champion of the Pick'em from last year. Defending champion, which is kind of embarrassing, but I got to put it up because. So there it is. He's the defending champion in this morning. Appreciate that. And I got his picks. I got everybody's picks except mine and Cuervo's, which is always good. In case they don't make the show or whatever, I don't have to bother them and grab them up. So I'm glad everybody got
down these picks.
I did I break them down?
No, did you write them down?
All of them, every single one of them. See right here.
You ever hear about a spreadsheet?
Yes, yeah, but this is much better. I can find it easier. It's on my desk at all times for 18 weeks.
That's the old school spreadsheet right
there. That's right. Hey. It'll be right on my desk. I'll know exactly where it is. I don't have to go try to find it on the computer. It's right there. Right
there in black and white, right?
That's right. Well, yeah, black and white and sometimes blue. So, but I looked at the Dallas Cowboys. By the way, when you live in Dallas like I do in the Dallas area, I'm in the Dallas Metroplex. It's Dallas Cowboys. That's all they talk about, how great they are. But some of the Dallas Cowboy fans, as well as the radio guys, they're just so dumb. They don't have a clue. I mean, everybody and their mother is putting the blame of this game on Dak Prescott. And I'm like, what game did you watch? What game down? Now, is there a problem in the red zone? Yes. Okay, there's no question. Good to see you, Ryan. Thanks for checking in. There is a problem in the red zone. And here's where my problem is that Dak Prescott is just that good. He should be calling his own plays. He should be able to call an audible. And that's one thing I did not see. I did not see any audibles calls, but where it matters the most, and Ryan is going to agree with me, is in the red zone. I mean, they had red zone opportunities and they just did not get the job done, or they miss a field goal, or whatever the case may be. This is where I want to see Dak take that next step to be that elite quarterback, to say, you know what, Kellen Moore, you're the offensive coordinator. Yeah, if I remember back in your career, yeah, you sucked. And I think I got a better idea of what I'm looking at here. I think I'll call my own play. Thank you, though, Kellen. But I'm telling you right now, that's where Dak has to step up. And at least to me, it's clear that needs to happen for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, granted, there's no such thing as a moral victory. In fact, every time you kick my ass, whether it was bowling, golf, or every pool, you never beat me in darts. But those other ones, man, I'm telling you right now, there was no moral victory. I wanted to kick your ass the next time. I was only one pin away. No. That's not how it works. That's not how sports work. That's what Dallas needs to get to. They need to stop this. They need to stop moral victories. They need to say, no, this is crap. We lost that game. And by the way, they should have won that game. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. Four times before the supposed pass interference and everything else. So, they had their opportunities. And by the way, they didn't lose that game because of a pass interference push-off, which wasn't pass interference. But, if you want to get technical about it, you can. But when it doesn't really affect the play and things of that sort, I'm okay with that not being a call out on the football field. So they had 4 before that, whether it's missed field goals, missed opportunities, or just bad play calling. Bad play calling has got to stop. And when they get that figured out, and when Dak says, you know what, it's time to go rogue, I'm going to do this myself, that's when the Dallas Cowboys will get better. They are blessed to have a pretty crappy schedule against crappy teams. So you're going to see them win some games, but I don't have more than 9. And I still don't have them win the division unless that picks up. So that's where we're at. That's kind of the way I look at things here as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned.
Yeah, Dallas, come on. Really, the Cowboys, they have a team to have a decent year. They do. Dak has proven. Game 1 of almost being out a whole year, we come out and I throw for over 400 yards against a Tampa defense.
Yeah.
As I wanted to say, I almost let it slip, saying the Tampa 2. Back in the day, but it's now the Tampa D.
Yes,
and the Tampa D is good.
Yeah,
it's in the top 5 of the NFL.
Well, after that game, that secondary was definitely figured out. A key injury, yes, happened, and that's yet another thing. The Dallas Cowboys should have been attacking that for the rest of the game. They did attack it, but not as much as I would have. Once you see a chink in the armor, you get over there and you exploit it. You get into the end zone, and you don't play any games, and that's just what it is. And, that's blood in the water, man. You go after the blood and you take advantage of your advantages. And they did sometimes, but I just think it was a drop of the ball that they should have beat that up and going there. So
you go right to that, like you were saying, you go right to that weakness and you go to that weakness until they stop it.
Yep. And that's the way us old school players played back in the day. I know Obi played that way, and when he seen he could beat me, he found a way of doing it, which wasn't very hard. But it is what it is. But I want to see Dallas get better. Todd says that he sees them winning the division without much issue. Well, don't forget about the Washington Redskins. Forget about their offense. Forget about their offense. That defense is there. And listen, what do they say? Defense wins championships. Well, let's see if defense can get you into the playoffs and win the division, which is kind of what I was looking at. That's why I had Washington on top in this division. Should be an interesting division. We got many games today. We got 15 games on tap today. Well, actually 14. Monday is the 15th game. So that being said, because we, with us having to cover so many games, we can't afford to wait for Cuervo to be fashionably late like he always is. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and get it started off here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. It's week number 1 of the NFL. And guys, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. So it's time to do it. We're going to go to the first game. By the way, we do it in Sonny's order, not any other order, because I got the videos up. So we're going by the video areas as far as that is concerned. Todd, good to see you this morning. So let's do it. Let's go to the game number 1 here on the NFL week number 1. There it is. The Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Houston Texans. Now, granted, we saw the offseason of the Houston Texans, which was not good. Okay, let's be honest. They have a quarterback problem. Let's be honest. So they got a team that is kind of wrapped up and gone everywhere. On the other side, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, Urban Meyer, new rookie quarterback, and they're working on theirs. By the way, 2 head coaches making their debut, that being Urban Meyer and David Cooley. So these guys are hitting going up against 2. Jaguars have quote unquote that word everybody falls in love with there, Obi. Potential. And the Houston Texans are who they are, so much so. Who are they starting at the quarterback position? Tyrod Taylor, meaning their superstar is sitting on the bench. Week number 1, their quote-unquote superstar, their quote-unquote top 6 quarterback in the NFL, sitting the bench. So, I got news for you, okay? I don't think he's top 6. I don't even think he's top 10. I got him in the top 15 somewhere, falling down into that area, that being Deshaun Watson. And yes, I got the Texans jersey on. But this team is, all you got to say is that they're a very bad football team. And last year, and the offseason showed it. They had no moves that they could do. Well, why was that? Well, the offseason went bad because of their superstar. Their superstar made it to where it is with the off the field problems there, Obi. And this team is just really
terrible. Crazy knucklehead are terrible.
It's not going to get better in week number 1. And here's what I'm going to throw out to you, Obi. On the other side of that, the Jacksonville Jaguars with their potential. If they lose to the Houston Texans today, even though this game is in Houston, I mean, what message are you sending your fans, or just in general the other teams in the NFL, that you can't beat a Tyrod Taylor-led Houston Texans that has been gutted, by the way? And so, what do you say to your fans as well as the other teams in the NFL?
Number 1, this is one of those games that I looked at when I was doing my picks. It's like I don't. There's a lot of question marks here. I want to see both teams see what they do in week 1. Then that'll let me gauge on what I'm going to do for the rest of the year for these 2 teams. Now, granted, these 2 teams play each other today, right? And so I'm like, okay, yeah, hey, guess what? Trevor Lawrence, potential, supposedly supposed to be the savior for the Jaguars. Urban Meyer coming back from being retired after leading my Buckeyes to a great run. I'm telling you what. I picked the Texans to win this game because of home field advantage. And
there has to be a 3-letter word here because I'm looking at your pick.
What?
What's the 3-letter word that you got going on? But because according to my list, I have you as the Jacksonville Jaguars on the pick.
What? Maybe I was. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me look. Oh, I did pick the Jets. I'm
looking at it.
I picked the Jets. But I know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
It's not kickoff.
What?
It's not kickoff yet, so you can change.
No. I'm going to stay with the Jaguars.
Okay.
I him-hawed. It's like, the Texans. Do I give them the home field advantage? I think finally what pushed me over to the Jaguars was just Houston Texans. They're just a freaking hot mess right now. Like you said, they've gutted the team. Mm-hmm. They got off the field issues. They got. I mean, here's what I can foresee earlier or later today. If the Jaguars are, no, this is not going to happen. But I'm just saying, if the Jaguars are blowing the Texans out, you're going to hear the Texans fans saying they want Deshaun Watson in the game.
Oh God! Oh yeah! Oh, there's no question that we will hear that. I don't think that
the coach and the owner is like, not happening.
Yeah, but I'm glad you prefaced that with an if, because the Jaguars blowing out anybody. Don't think so. Jaguars don't have the ability right now to do that because, number one, now all the ones are ready to go. So this is the first time the ones are really going to go at it. I don't count the 1 or 2 drives they had in their last pregame. I don't count that because no one is there. No one's putting forth the effort to do what they got to do in order to win the football game in a preseason game. And if they are, they're crazy idiots to do so. So this is going to be the first time that we'll see the ones all together. So so they don't have the capabilities right now to be that team that you expect them to be. So that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. The fine co-host of this program is finally showed up. You can't see me. You can't see the MVP of the Couch Potato Sports Show. Always good to see Cuervo, and he's got a hat on. He's got a hat on. Let me bring him in. What? Oh, my word. What is that ugly? Oh, it's a Bears hat. So did you go get the high and tight this morning, Cuervo? Uh-oh. He's buffering. He is the
camera can't take the
Let's get ready to run. Oh no, he's buffering. Not Michael Buffer. He's buffering. He should be back here in just a moment. I almost lost it, but right now, as far as the Jaguars are concerned, we'll get the co-host up on the show back here. Houston right now, starting Tyrod Taylor, that should tell you a lot. Number one, when you have a guy, you're right. And I don't even think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be 2 or 3 drives, and you're going to see how bad this is going to be. And this is where you've got, if you're going to take a shot at it. Right now, it just all depends on is Deshaun Watson inactive? Is Deshaun Watson inactive? And I don't know. I haven't looked. But if he is active, why don't you check that out, Mr. Computer Man? Find out if Deshaun Watson, because I'm going to tell you, everybody talking about how great Deshaun Watson is, top 6 quarterback. If he's in the game at any point, or they see Jaguars maybe slipping ahead by 10, maybe you put in Deshaun Watson. There he is, Cuervo. Good morning, my friend. Ears, can you hear me? Can you hear
Holy
me?
Crap, look at that.
I think he's got a bet. Cuervo, you. I can't hear. I cannot hear
like this.
you.
We can't hear you.
We might have to send him a text. Hello, Cuervo. Here, and that's what it is. Let's see here. Cuervo, can you
He's buffering
hear
again.
me? Oh, okay. He's back to Michael buffering, so maybe we'll get him back. What I'll do is I'll kick him from the studio. Try him. Oh, wait. No. I don't want to permanently kick him. I just want to. Let's see here. You should ban. Okay, no, I'm just going to kick him. Maybe get back. He's having a little internet problems there over there, so hopefully we'll get him back here. But then again, let's take a look at this. I mean, as far as that's concerned, again, if we find out that Deshaun Watson is actually active in this game, I think we definitely see him if there seems to be a problem. But really, in reality, for the Jaguars, if they do get Tyrod Taylor for a full 60 minutes, what you have to do is protect your golden boy. And guess what? I don't know. Lawrence may have to, get some designed runs, maybe some plays, because that offensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars is not good. So you got to put it that way. Now, Lawrence ran for 943 yards and 18 touchdowns in Clemson last year. So we know this guy can do it, which, kind of is the Lamar Jackson side of, Lamar Jackson side of it, and Deshaun Watson. So really he can kind of, go head to head with them in reality if they go that. But really, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, what you're trying to do in reality is try to save face and keep it going and stay together. Let's see here. Restarting his laptop now, and Brian unsent a message. So I got. So did you find out, is Deshaun Watson inactive?
There's nothing like recent that's come down.
Nothing recent. All right. So see. So I'm gonna see if I can find.
It's 7:26 my time, so that's 9:26 your time. So that's 10:26 East Coast. And I don't see. I don't. If he's going to be inactive, I think they're going to wait till the least last possible moment.
And that's usually 45 minutes before game time, or an hour before game time. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find it in the inactive list. Here we go. Here we got the inactive list, and this is on the. Okay, so there's nothing that I am seeing as of right now. So we'll see. We'll see if something comes up for that. But I think if Deshaun Watson plays this game, Cuervo, I think what's going to happen is that you might see I guess if you want to call it an upset, you can go ahead and do so. But they don't have the inactive squads out. I can't see it either, just like you, so I couldn't find it neither. So I'm giving everybody an asterisk pick, okay? And what we do on the Couch Potato Sports Show is if a guy is ready. If the guy is ready, that being like the Deshaun Watson, if he is active, not if he gets in the game, just active. So we'll get that to you. You can take the Jacksonville Jaguars, but if Deshaun Watson is active, you can take the Houston Texans. And if you declare that, you can go ahead and do so. I don't think even with Deshaun Watson that they should win this game. There are a lot of other intangibles within the game, whether it be, the special teams, how that's going to play into effect. Then you throw in some guys that might be able to step up. And I don't know if we're just going to see any kind of really stepping up, because if you look at Tyrod Taylor, this is a guy. Remember, Tyrod Taylor was the guy that took the Buffalo Bills to their first playoff game forever. They thought so much of him that they decided that they would let him go. And Todd puts it out here as one of the worst starting quarterbacks in league history, but he did bring the Buffalo Bills to where they started in the last 3 years. 3 years, okay? 3 years they've been in the playoffs. So, not, and by the way, depending on who you listen to or what you believe, that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. They're on top in the AFC East, which is normally slated for the New England Patriots. So,
Todd just said that he's not active.
Okay, I don't know.
So, not active.
So, I wasn't going to pick him anyway, but I could understand why someone would want to, even if he's active, because how long do you let Tyrod Taylor rip down your game one season? I mean, because let's be honest, week number 1 of the NFL, like you said, you can gauge how the rest of the season is going to go based upon the personnel that is out on the football field. And I don't think that you want Tyrod Taylor being there. Davis Miller is the backup, Davis Mills. I don't even know who that is, so I don't even care. But Urban Meyer, I mean, granted, not a lot of years in the NFL, but it's got NFL experience. You get another no-namer as the head coach, the stand-in until they get someone in there and some players in there before someone will actually take the risk with a big name to take over the Texans. So, it's like it's what it is? It's like the Houston Texans broke up with somebody and they had to get a coach. This is their transitional coach. This is their transitional guy. All right, that's what they are. This is their transitional guy.
This is their rebound day.
Yeah, rebound. Yeah, in the rebound, kind of thing. So, I don't expect a lot from Houston. I don't think anybody does. And to be honest, Jaguar fan that I am not expecting a lot from the Jaguars. And if you are, you're just you got way too much. You got way too much love for rookie quarterbacks. Head coach that hadn't been there forever, maybe had success in college, but if you're a Jaguar fan, if you lose this game, regardless how it's lost, I mean, the suicide watch is going to be starting almost immediately in Jacksonville. Not from me, because I expect them. Listen, bad football teams have a habit of losing games that they have no business losing sometimes. And so if someone said that the Texans beat the Jaguars, it wouldn't surprise me. Although I am on record and I'm going Jags in this game. Can
I make one more point about this game?
Sure, absolutely.
So I think I was reading, some of the posts that came across while we're chatting about this, and the one I came up with was Todd Mintz that said that that Watson is inactive for this game and is inactive all year. That the team has put him on inactive for all year. That tells me a lot about this franchise. Well, why, if you're gonna make a player inactive all year, why are you allowing him to take one of the roster spots on your 53-man roster?
Well, you're right about that. So maybe their plans are, but I got news for you. Okay, all the nonsense that Deshaun Watson has got the Texans in right now because of his off-the-field problems or whatever you want to call it. Okay, yeah. All right. The fans that will be sitting in the stands will give a rat's big, fat, hairy butt about whatever's going on. They want to see their football team win. Fans are just that easy. I mean, fans will look past a murderer, Ray Lewis, Baltimore Ravens, and still cheer him on. That's just what they do. So it is up on that. So yeah. I don't think he's going to be officially on the active list. They may have him, but when you have Deshaun Watson there will be a lot of call for him to get back and get back soon. And it may happen I don't know if he's inactive in this game or not. They don't have to put the inactives until an hour before kickoff. So just let everybody know, you can always go back and change that pick if you want to go that bit. But everybody right now, and when Cuervo gets in, I'm sure he's probably going Jacksonville as well. But it is what it is. So the Jaguars, Will they make the win? I don't know, but I got them on the pick. So that's going to lead us to the second game here unless you have anything else to say on it, Cuervo.
I'm good, buddy.
All right, so next game up on board here on the Couch Potato Sports. That's right. The Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. This is an interesting game here. I'm going to say straight out. Jim Irsay, guess what? He sent a, message by getting what he got, that being his quarterback, that we need to win and we need to win the opener. I mean, so he is. Since you look at Indianapolis, this team has been kind of lost since they lost Peyton Manning back in 2012. They've been sitting around in mediocrity, even with Andrew Luck when he wasn't hurt, or he just wasn't enough in reality as far as the Colts are concerned. Now here we come to a new year. We have Carson Wentz coming off of an injury, that was supposed to not even be ready until week 4 or 5, if you believed all the reports. Then their, second coming of quarterbacks, their backup quarterback gets hurt in a preseason game. Now all of a sudden, Sunday happens, and guess what? Carson Wentz is going to start for the Indianapolis Colts. So that being said, and I think Cuervo's trying to get back in. I'm seeing the little message, and then he popped out. He's going to come back. I think he's almost there. But the Indianapolis Colts, they actually have a tough game going against Seattle. Now, Seattle's on the road. They're not at home, so you don't worry about the 12th man in reality. But you still got to worry about one of the best quarterbacks. Yes, top 5 quarterbacks in Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz is not top 5. So if you look at that powerhouse and you see what's going on, I'm looking at this game, and there's a couple of people on our list here that went the other way, went ahead and took Indianapolis in this game. But it has to be because of what Carson Wentz is bringing them as the starting quarterback. It's not if they started that backup quarterback, I think everybody would be on Seattle. But the attitude changes, because you can say whatever you want about Carson Wentz being hurt all the time. That's fine. But when he's out on the football field, this guy does have the goods. He does have talent. So if you just say, he sucks, that would be an inaccurate assessment of what he can do. Now, if you want to say this guy does not out on the football field doesn't help your football team, then I will agree with you. But Carson Wentz, still starting quarterback in the NFL, makes a lot of money to do so. Jim Irsay went and got him out of listen, at the time, there were some guys that could have been available, and they went ahead and did what they did by bringing in Carson Wentz. So that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. When you look at this game, Obi, what are you looking at as far as Seattle and Indianapolis?
Well, I'm looking at my picks now. I'm going to be
You're looking this time.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay, I picked the Sea Chickens to win.
Okay.
And here's the thing with when you talk about Carson Wentz, and I'm so the big talk when Carson Wentz came into the NFL, he was a reincarnation of Big Ben. Mm-hmm. This big guy, tough to bring down, stands in the pocket, is a pocket thrower, doesn't really, get out and run and stuff like that. And if you're not able to move around, yes, you are going to get hurt.
Absolutely.
Now I have to say that I think some of the injuries that Carson Wentz has had, it was unfortunate. And I'm not going to say Carson Wentz sucks, but Carson Wentz, when he's in there, yes, he can play the game. But what's the old saying? What have you done for me lately?
Absolutely.
Here, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Not for long. Oh,
mm-hmm.
That's the NFL. Oh, no, Carson Wentz, he can get the job done. Mm-hmm. Can he get the job done in Indianapolis? Well, we don't know that yet. But Jim Irsay seems to think that he's the man. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play him. Now, if you ask me, do you see Carson Wentz, some in not this game, maybe, I don't know. Do you see him getting injured? I do. Because that's just what happens.
Yep.
It's almost like he's snake bit. You know, and
it's
so
an easy prediction. Will Carson Wentz get hurt this year?
Yeah,
I want to be in Vegas for that bet.
if Carson Wentz is in the game and playing up to his, what he's shown that he can do, the Indianapolis Colts can win some games and maybe a lot of games this year.
Yes,
but if he's hurt,
whether it's the hand, remember he had that injury on the hand. How is that? No one's going to really talk about that, but no one remembers. But I remember. But here's one thing about the Colts: the Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, top 5. I mean, you can rank them any way you want. I have them ranked as the 3rd best offensive line in the NFL right now. Before week 1, I mean that can change after week number 1. But when I was looking this over, they have one of the best offensive lines that are out there. And listen, when you start off the season with that means you're headed in the right direction. The rest of it, though, when you look at the offense, their wide receivers are gone. They lost Deshaun, Hopkins over to the Arizona Cardinals because of their bad thing. But I'm going to tell you right now, they got a good tight end core. I like that portion of it as far as where they are. Their running backs, they're kind of they got Philip Lindsay, and I like this guy. I hope he starts. I hope he does really well because I like him. When he was with the Denver Broncos, I thought he could do something. But it's the defensive side of the ball. The defensive line is not really good for the Indianapolis Colts. The secondary is mediocre, and the rest of it, whether it be linebacker or cornerback, you're just in a crap area. But here's the difference, okay? When you're Indianapolis and you're taking on a football team as the Seattle Seahawks, if your defense is not ready to go, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's where Seattle sits right now, Indianapolis sits right now, because they got on the offensive side of the ball for the Seattle Seahawks, they got one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, right now. And he's got one of the better wide receivers out there. And there's just a lot of things that this Seahawks team brings to the table today, even if you do have a healthy Carson Wentz. That being said, that's the name of this show. There he is. Yeah, he switched over to the phone. Good to see you. And your picture is better, too. How you doing this morning, Cuervo?
Guys, what's going on, guys? I want to be really excited, but I'm just a little irritated with my laptop right now.
Just kick it. Just kick it.
I think I need to. I need a nice firm punt across the backyard or something.
There you go. Or maybe a new one. But don't get a Chromebook. No, just joking. Get a Chromebook. They work great. That being said, hey, let's since you were not able to be here for the first game, we covered the first game to get you in. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll back this up a little bit, just really quick, and see what Cuervo has to say about the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. I gave the asterisk pick for people if they wanted it because Deshaun Watson, is he active? Is he inactive? We don't know yet. We won't know that till an hour before the game. And you say he's not, so he's not going to play. Where are you hearing that? Because I'm really interested in hearing where you're hearing that from.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a friend on Facebook. No, it was Adam Schefter. He actually already reported.
He's your friend on Facebook?
No, he's
nice.
Yeah. Whatever's on Facebook, it's the truth, right? So,
yeah, that's right.
What?
Thank you for confirming
technically, it was Facebook, but it was from Adam Schefter. So.
Okay. Now, is it true what Todd said? Todd made mention that he's going to be inactive all year. I mean, how do you say that? I mean, why do you? And like Jim said, why do you even leave a roster spot open for a guy who's supposedly going to be on the inactive list all year?
Well, because he's worth a lot, so
I got it. Okay.
There's still that opportunity to get the trade that they're looking for, and that's the other thing too is, he doesn't want to be in Houston. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. But Houston is very firm on what they want in return for Deshaun Watson. And it's a combination of 6. Here's what it is. It's a combination of 6 things, if you want to say. It can either be 5 draft picks and 1 player, or they're willing to do 4 draft picks and 2 players. So that's what they're looking for. They're very firm on it. That's what the what the post, the article says. The
Reports.
GM, the reports are saying that Houston is extremely firm. They're not going to budge, and so you don't just release a guy like that, or you don't just leave him inactive without the opportunity to try and
in other words, you can't cut this guy. You can't release him. He's got too much value to your team.
I mean this franchise is set back enough, and to do something like that, I don't know that Houston will ever recover from it. It'll take 10 years. It'll take 10 years, guys.
Yep. Absolutely. Now, they got the Jaguars today. I have the Texans jersey on. I didn't pick them. I only got the Texans jersey on because of that bad man right there. That being said, what's your take on the Jaguars and the Houston Texans?
Well, I mean, if I have to pick someone, which I do because that's what we have to do on this show, we got to pick.
That's what we do.
Games, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's week 1, guys. There's really nothing to go off of as far as
couch potato quarter.
What
do you need the couch potato quarter?
Maybe I might need it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess Sonny, I'm gonna roll with your Jaguars today. Just because I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling the Jaguars for some reason.
We'll find out if the Jaguars will be able to roll with the flow and be the team that they think that they're going to be. Listen, both teams are bad. When you're bad, you got to measure yourself. But week number 1, you got another bad football team. You better beat them. Either side of that, whether that's Houston or Jacksonville,
Yep.
But listen, the Houston Texans have already stated that this pretty much season, is a wash. We'll figure it out next year. But that will all be because of the players, trades, or whatever the case may be. Week number 1, hey, mark my words, a quarterback's going down in week number 1. Right, guys? I mean, listen, why it happens almost every year. A quarterback goes down week number 1 or week number 2. It'll probably happen this week, although I thought it might be Dak, but Dak looked pretty good with that injury, so he's in pretty good shape. So we are across the board on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody involved, whether it's myself, Cuervo, Bryce, Tarvin, Obi, Jonathan, my brother, who is the defending champions, all up on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, when we go to the Seattle Seahawks, look at what they got. I mean, look at the offense that's going to be headed their way in Indianapolis. Is the defense on the other side of the ball? This is their first challenge, Cuervo. Okay, we talked about the Indianapolis Colts defense all year, how great they were. But remember, guys, look how crappy that schedule was. Now they get a real schedule. They get a real team. How's that defense going to hold up against the Seattle Seahawks today, Cuervo?
I think it's going to look a little vulnerable. I think a lot of teams. I think this is going to be a high-scoring week. I mean, it's
week 1.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be a lot of high-scoring games. This is probably going to be one of them. I'm interested to see just kind of like the encore of this Colts defense and see, are they legit? Who's going to be the guy that slows DK Metcalf down? Who's going to be that? Who's going to be the guy on defense that can match the speed of Tyler Lockett?
Yes.
I think the Colts made a mistake, and Obi's going to like this. I think they made a mistake letting Malik Hooker go, because I think Malik Hooker is a solid safety, and that was a guy that was making some plays for them and kind of becoming one of the leaders of that defense. And now he's gone. Speed.
I thought of Hooker. I thought of speed. That guy could get the job done. Obi.
Speed kills.
Yep. So, but looking at this game, we have Tarvin is going with the Indianapolis Colts, and so is Jonathan. And with the combination, like if one of them said Indianapolis, I would say it, but both of them are Indianapolis. But I mean, we talked about it, Obi. I mean, and even Todd Mintz he came up and said it. I don't know how much I trust the Seattle Seahawks right now, but really, is Carson Wentz 100%? That's always going to be the question, right? I mean, is he going to be ready to go? So if he's healthy, I mean, what is your take on it? I see you got the Sea Chickens. I mean, but What do you think Indianapolis has to do to beat the Seattle Seahawks today?
Are you talking to me?
I am. I'm talking to you.
Sorry. So repeat the question.
What is Indianapolis going to have to do? I mean, listen, you're on the Sea Chickens. What do you think Indianapolis has to do?
Indianapolis has to control the ball. Indianapolis has to run the ball. And Indianapolis has to play somewhat of a decent defensive game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell you, this is what's going to – I foresee this is going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? If you give the ball to a guy by the name of Russell Wilson with less than 2 minutes to go in the game, he's going to kill you.
Yep.
He has got the blood. He's got the ice in the veins. He's got the what's the word I'm looking for? He's got it.
The moxie.
He's got the moxie. He's got it. He's going to exploit whatever you're trying to take away. He's going to exploit the opposite.
Yep.
So if you bring the rush, he's going to step up, and then he's going to use his legs. He's going to kill you. You play defense, he's going to pick you apart. He's that good. He's that type of quarterback.
Yep.
And you give him the ball with 2 minutes or less to go in the game, and he has to drive the field 9.5 times. I know there's no half. 9.5 times. He's going to beat you.
Yep.
And so that's what's going to happen. The Colts going to have to control the ball. They're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have the game in hand.
Yes.
Within the fourth quarter to not let Russell Wilson beat you.
Yep.
But I don't see that happening.
Well, you also got to take a look at the Seahawks. Okay, they got Shane Waldron. Okay, coming. I think he was like with the Rams under Sean McVay. Okay, so you got a new offense. How's that new offense going to work with Russell Wilson? Because guess what? We haven't seen any of them in the preseason. Most of the starters didn't start in Seattle. So will Waldron be able to put together a offense, to be able to complement what Russell Wilson can do? But really, my answer to the question to what does Indianapolis do? They're going to have to control the offensive line. Okay, that defensive line for Seattle is going to have to go in there and make some plays. And if Indianapolis is going to win this game, it will be because they get good offensive line play. And again, they got the top 5 of the offensive line right now in the NFL. Obviously, after week number 1, those numbers will change. But based upon what my looks are, I have them as one of the best offensive lines. Cuervo, when you're looking at this game, who you got winning this game, and why do you have them winning?
Yeah, this one was a really, tough one too, Sonny, because I like both defenses, but I think it's really going to come down to how quickly Carson Wentz gets comfortable.
Yes.
In game. So it can all look good in practice, right? Everything looks good in practice.
Everybody's great in practice.
Every throw is like on the mark and all that good stuff, right? But how is it going to look in game when you have that Seattle front 7 coming at you?
Yeah.
And it's like you said too. It's like with all the injuries that Carson Wentz has gone through, is he fully confident in moving around in the pocket, making certain throws? Doing what Dak Prescott did on Thursday night.
Absolutely.
Willing to sit in the pocket, make a throw, and then take a hit. Is he gonna be able to do that? Is he gonna have the confidence? Is he gonna have the courage to do that?
Gunshot.
I guess we'll see. And that's why that kind of gives me the edge to Seattle. Okay. I give the edge to Seattle just because I think there's, obviously with Russell Wilson, there's more familiarity. I just think there's a little uncertainty on the offensive side for the Colts.
Completely agree with you, and just more in the fact that it's Russell Wilson. And if Russ, like Jim said, I mean, if it comes to the end of the game, Russell Wilson's gonna And he's more than capable of winning it. By the way, Jim, how long do we have you for? Because I want to make sure that we get you on your Browns opinion if you have to bail. What time are you?
I'm here. I'll let you know what I'm here for probably at least another hour.
Okay, cool. All right. So that being said, so we got Seattle. Everybody but Jonathan and Tarvin is on Seattle. And I'm on Seattle as well. So it should be a good game. This one's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good watch. Where are the teams at the time? That's going to be the big question. So,
hey, gentlemen, real quick, I'm going to step away. I got to do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right.
We'll get you. Yep, no problem. Just hit your button and there you go. We'll bring him out. That's going to bring us to the next game, Cuervo, which is not an easy one. That's right. You know what team is going to show up as far as Philly and the Indianapolis Colts or the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, I mean, who's there? Jalen Hurts, you're the quarterback. You have it on the other side. You have Matt Ryan. You know, these are two quarterbacks that are living two separate bad dreams. Okay, and what I'm talking about is the Super Bowl hangover from Matt Ryan. If you're going to get a shot, how many years ago was that Super Bowl? Was it 5 years ago, Cuervo?
2017. So
2017. Someone needs to bitch slap this guy awake and get him ready to play football. Okay, he's had a hangover for almost 5 years now. Okay, but then on the other side, you got the rookie quarterback. Yeah, he's not a rookie, but he's a rookie quarterback. Okay, listen, Jalen Hurts is, even though it's his quote unquote second year, this is the first time this guy's going to get behind and get in the line and find out what's going on as far as the Falcons are concerned. Okay, you know, interestingly enough, I looked at this game. I actually sat and decided, I think I know who I want to pick, but at the same time, there's other elements to the game that makes me take a step back on it. Because when I looked at it, I wanted to go ahead and pick an upset here, but Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. He's the atypical, really first quarterback, you know, after last year and the BS that they pulled on him. How will he mentally be ready? And I'm talking about the end of the last game, pulling them out for them to lose, to do whatever they did. So when you're looking at this, Atlanta Falcons, you know, hosting the Philadelphia Eagles, it should be a matchup where you've got, you know, rookie coaches leading some of the bad teams. In reality, these are not two of the best, but you got rookie coaches as well. So you get not only do you get the teams that should be good, Cuervo, okay, but you get rookie coaches as well. So this is a recipe for disaster, and there's no automatic pick.
I think, well, for me there is. I this one wasn't very hard for me. And the reason I say that is because I look at the history, especially last year with the Atlanta Falcons, and their ability to blow games, and that's you know,
that's just what they do, right, Cuervo? I mean, you know, if there's a game that's close, will they lose this game? And it's really simple, you know.
Do I feel lucky?
I don't know. Are they lucky enough? Will they be lucky enough? Or will it be a skill set? And that's what you don't know what you get with the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan in reality.
Yeah, well, I know what you get, and you're going to get a great effort in the first half of the Atlanta Falcons, and then they're going to turn around and they're going to just let it just fall apart, even at home. See, and that's the thing too. That's what's changed about Atlanta too, Sonny, is that we used to talk about the Falcons. And they're unstoppable at home, and you can't, you know, they're a very hard team to beat at home. Now it's just like, look at how many games they blew last year at home. That I could think of two off the top of my head. I want to say maybe even a third.
I think three. There were 3 games where they had the lead going in towards the end of the season. I actually looked that up, and it's funny that you mentioned that because, guys, just so everybody knows, Cuervo and I, we don't get up on the phone and talk to each other. Okay, that was one of the things I was looking at as far as Atlanta. How are they capable of holding on to football games? And the biggest question is Cuervo just asked: is it at home? They are at home.
They are at home.
And you would think. Okay, that they could be ready to go, but now it's the way they're losing football games in the fourth quarter. I mean, Philly, if they're behind a little bit in this game going into the fourth quarter, they got a damn good chance of winning this football game. Because do you trust the Atlanta Falcons defense to hold off an offense if they got it to stop them?
I don't think so, Jim.
I think so, but they got a new defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn, no longer there. Okay. So that being said, you got that new element added to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's been some change on both sides for both teams. So, and I'm trying to remember who took that head coaching job in Atlanta. I'm trying to think of who it is.
It's a rookie. It's a rookie quarterback, I'll find out.
Because Raheem Morris left, or not left, but he didn't keep the job.
No, he was not offered the job. He was in there. It's Arthur Smith. And he was working with Tennessee, just to let you know. So that's where. And that's the reason why they grabbed them up, because they liked what the Tennessee was doing and the way they turned that franchise around with obviously Ryan Tannehill.
Okay, so basically, hey, we'll give you Arthur Smith, and in return, you give us Julio Jones and a couple other picks, right, or something like that.
Something like that.
Terrible business, Atlanta. Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible. Crazy knuckleheaded terrible.
See, knuckleheaded terrible.
Knuckleheaded terrible. Sonny, I'm taking the Eagles. The Eagles are going to win this game.
Well, interestingly, because all across the board, including the guy that finally is able to get back with us, being Obi, he is on the Atlanta Falcons. What are you looking at in this game that made you pick the Atlanta Falcons?
Home field advantage.
Wait anymore with the Falcons.
I'm not sure what team that you were watching, but say that again. Say why was that?
It's at Atlanta, right?
Yeah, it's Atlanta. So home field advantage. Home field. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Thank you. Hello, monkey.
Had to get the monkey in sometime. That's twice. He made a showing a little earlier today. But
he was waiting for me. I know.
That being said,
what did you just say?
What?
No, I was talking to Cuervo. What did you just say?
I said I've been waiting for the monkey to appear.
Yeah,
I missed him the first time.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think I get what he's saying. Not because they're so good at home. Both these teams are in the air, man. I mean, they don't have any stability. I mean, if you want to call Matt Ryan stability, you can go ahead and do so. It's just not good stability, but it is what it is. So I mean, I don't know. Looking at is it really home field advantage just because you don't know who to pick?
Yes, honestly, yes. That's what I didn't know which way to go. Nothing has really been for me in the preseason and off season. Nothing has been really there for me to grasp a hold of. It's like, okay, I feel confident in picking this team. I feel confident in picking the Eagles. I feel confident in picking the Falcons. I looked at this game. I was like, it's being played in Atlanta. All right, I'll pick Atlanta just because they're playing at home.
Right. Well, I'm looking at it. No Julio, but they go ahead and get Pitts. I mean, listen, that's Yeah, I like the pick. I don't like the fact that it was number one, but I see the guy as a stud. On the other side, you get Devontae Smith. What? Didn't he win the Heisman? I mean,
he did.
Yeah. So I mean, on the other side, you got that, and then you got a young guy throwing him the football. I try to find, I guess I'm saying I want to make up some chemistry. If Jalen Hurts and him can put it together, I think that's where it's going to be. Because really, if you look at both sides of this football team, none of the defenses are great. I mean, you don't have anybody shutting down anybody, regardless of who it is out on both of these football teams. Well, that being said, of course, that's the name of the show.
So here's the deal, Sonny.
Go ahead.
Think about it. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. What do those two guys have in common?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it, but you know what the answer is.
Do not say that word.
You know what the answer is, but
I know what it is, but don't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
You guys are trying to kill me over here. I appreciate it. The way to do that. Week number 1, killing off Sonny.
They've known each other for a while.
Oh, man. Put it like that. Just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But, it is. Listen.
I could give you I could is this a family show or not?
Yeah, sometimes, but no. I mean, say it, yeah.
This is your after-school special.
That's right. Yeah. But hey, if you're gonna have to cling on to something, I guess that's just as good as any in this game anyway. Okay, because both
Sonny, you were talking about chemistry. That's why I brought that up.
Yes, but I'm gonna have a hard time getting past Calvin Ridley and Matt Ryan. Okay, game number 1, I can see him winning. Okay, if this game meant something, there's no way in hell I could take the Atlanta Falcons.
No,
the fact that it's week number 1, will they have a new beginning, a new thinking, or maybe change it? But here's the thing: Calvin Ridley becomes the number 1 wide receiver of this football team, which he pretty much is anyway. He was the step up number 2. So in reality, he was the number 1 because Julio Jones just hadn't been there. That is the key to this game, as far as that is concerned. If Matt Ryan is worth the damn nickel, which I don't think he is in reality, he's got to go out there. He's got to win this game. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going on the Atlanta side of this, and I can't believe I did because I don't. Last year I said until they won 3 games in a row, I'm not picking Atlanta. And so I'm going to try. I'm going to try to start the season off with maybe a little bit here and see what he can do. Cuervo, who do you have in this game?
So you're ready. I like it.
The only team that matters.
I'm taking the Eagles. Eagles.
All right, so
I'm gonna be the lone wolf on this.
He is on the island today. He is on the island, and he's got the word "help" written out in tree branches. So he is on the island by himself.
Well, yeah, it says "help," but the part you don't see is "help." These other guys picking Atlanta.
So week number 1, I will give him a shot. I was close to picking Philadelphia, but rookie quarterbacks, me and rookie quarterbacks, I just don't trust them as much as I would like to.
I don't trust the Falcons as a team. How many games did they blow last year?
Oh gosh, at least 6 or 7. At least 6 or 7 games they just blew just by showing up. Can I tell you something
about that team?
Sure.
Let me tell you something about that team. And I know that you've probably heard it from other places. But I'm not going to say that I said it first, but I thought it first. That team, when they blew the Super Bowl, that got in here.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it hasn't left there.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Obi, we've been talking about that ever since it happened.
Yeah.
He's been on a hangover for 4 years now, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
A bad one. I mean, he got Jack. He got the fireball. I mean, he got all the hard stuff in him, So he's just trying to get over it, and I don't know.
He's not going to get over it. That's the thing. He doesn't have the players surrounding him to get over it.
Calvin Ridley's a badass.
That's one guy.
Yeah,
Calvin
Are you telling me that Matt Ryan's going to throw? Was Calvin Ridley going to see 150 passes?
Well, hold on. It just depends on. I mean, listen, their number 1 pick was Pitts, right? I mean, so if you believe the rankings and everything, he's supposedly one of the better ones that are out there. So he's got a double weapon up there. And listen. What happens when you get new toys to play with? You play with them for a couple weeks and you get rid of them, and that's what will happen here. Maybe he'll be excited opening up the packages, but in the meantime, when he's opening up the packages to get the will he cut his wrist? Getting the toy out of the plastic and to where he kills himself. That's what you gotta hope doesn't happen to him. Will he bleed to death?
Shot.
Yeah,
toys.
it's what it is. But I am. Listen, it's not because I have any faith in Atlanta. I don't have any faith in rookie quarterbacks, and I'll take Matt Ryan over a rookie quarterback any day. That's just kind of the way it works for me. So I'm on Atlanta. The lone wolf right there in the right hand corner, Cuervo. He is going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. And now, I actually was I got to skip this next game because we have to wait for Bryce. Bryce says he's going to be in, so we're going to wait for the Steeler game because I want Bryce.
That's a juicy one.
Oh,
can I make a request?
Sure.
We'll skip that game.
Okay.
And let's do the Steelers game and the Browns game back to back with Bryce.
We can do that. Hopefully, now Bryce usually comes in at around 30 minutes left to go in the show, just to kind of give you an idea. So yeah, he's a little late bloomer. He's worse than Cuervo. He's a little worse than Cuervo when it comes to being on time.
Yeah, I got to make my entrance. All right.
That's right. Hey.
This morning was. I mean, like I said, I'm going to punt this laptop across the yard as soon as red zone.
Lawn dart it. Well, and guess what? So the next game I'm going to go to. So we're going to skip over the Pittsburgh game, but we're not going to go to anything better. Not going. Yes, it's this ugly game. Oh my God. But what a week number one for Sam Darnold, right? You get the team that cut.
I like this game. Go.
I do too. I like it because of the storyline, not because these teams are any good. You got the Jets with their rookie quarterback. They're going to go ahead and start that up there. Then Sam Darnold, I mean, he's foaming at the mouth to get to this one. I think. I would hope. I would think. And if he doesn't, he has no cojones. He needs to. This is a game. If you're Sam Darnold, this is put up or shut up time, Cuervo. If you're a good quarterback, you beat the Jets. And if anybody knows the Jets better, it would be Sam Darnold. So is that a good enough advantage for Sam Darnold to get the win against the Jets? By the way, someone is on the island as we speak with the Jets pick for this game, and that is Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan.
Jonathan is on the Jets. So, interesting enough, Cuervo, what do you see in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested. I saw very little of the rookie Zach Wilson in the preseason, so I can't say that he's going to be, he's going to be good for them this year, or if he's going to be terrible for them. I really don't know yet. So, but I'm just interested in seeing how open do they let Darnold be in this game? Are they going to just kind of like let him loose and let him stick it to his old team, or does Carolina be conservative on it and kind of like where they feel like maybe he needs to get into a rhythm or get into a better feel for the offense. So I'm going to be really interested in seeing all that. So, but from what I did see from Zach Wilson, I can see why they drafted him number 2 overall. I mean, he's got good enough speed. He's got some arm talent. So, this is going to be a real nail biter.
I think you're right, and I think you're right. It's going to be about game plan. How are they going to do it? Are they going to play it and, like you said, let him go at his team, let him get that revenge? Or are they going to start the season out, this is the way we play football? And it's not for one to get revenge on another. However, the NFL set this up for exactly what everybody thinks it should be, which is revenge game. And it was done on purpose, which is why I like the NFL, because that week's, well, it used to be 16 and 17. Now it's going to be 17 and 18. You get the best in division rivals, playing each other at the end of the day, usually for a game that means something. It means something in reality if you're going to be looking at the Jets and what they are going to do. Okay, it means something. They've got to go ahead and make a move, and they got to go out and win a football game. And I don't know, in reality, regardless of what it is, Sam Darnold, I think, is a better quarterback than he had the opportunity to be the last year, and that's all because of their head coach. And so a little bit of difference here for this. I mean, but right now, if you are the Carolina Panthers, okay, and the Jets, are you really realistically looking at the playoffs? And if you are, I think you got to let Sam Darnold go out there and rip it, okay? You got to let him get the confidence. And if you're going to move forward within this division, hell, you got to get past Tampa Bay, and that's not going to happen. Hell, so the next team they got to try to get past is the Saints. And I don't know if they're going to do that with Jameis Winston or not. I guess we'll find that part out in reality. And then you have Atlanta. So you got to go balls to the wall if you are the Carolina Panthers, and you got to go out there and get this win. And I think you got to motivate your guy the way you got to motivate him in order for him to get the win, Cuervo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I think it's going to be a welcome to Carolina going for Sam Darnold if he could beat his old team and in his first game beat his old team. I mean, I think that would kind of like give him some pretty good confidence, to go in there and beat his old team and say, you made a mistake letting me go.
Absolutely. He was viewed as the franchise quarterback for the New York Jets. Okay. Number 3, I think that he was picked overall in 2018.
Third.
So they had some plans for this guy.
Right.
13-25 in 3 seasons, not enough. Traded him to Carolina, replaced him with Wilson at the number 2 pick in the draft. I mean, so the Jets were really working that draft to find their guy. Did they find the right guy? I don't know. We'll find out in Wilson. But then again, this is a rookie quarterback. And listen, I know, Sonny, that's too simplistic. You're not looking at all the games. But when you're talking a rookie quarterback there, Obi, this guy doesn't have the experience. And say whatever you want about Sam Darnold. That guy's taken some hits. That guy has won some games. That guy's lost some bad games. But the experience at the quarterback position in this game, I think, is huge. What do you think, Obi?
Yeah, I see the experience coming forward. I picked the Panthers to win this game. I guess I really don't have a real strong reason why, but I'm going to tell you one of the most, I'm going to say, one of Obi's most exciting players that I love to watch on Sundays is Christian McCaffrey.
Absolutely.
I love that player.
Yep.
He's got all the weapons
Mm-hmm.
that you need in a running back. I mean, he's not really a tackle between the tackle kind of guy. He's not that big, but he will do it. And he has that word, speed.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot defense speed. And if you get Christian McCaffrey out on the one-on-one, he's gonna beat you.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of a question mark as well, coming back from an injury again. Because he's a smaller kind of running back. The NFL is a big boy sport. And if you're not going to be, the big boy and having the big, strong kind of stature and have speed, you're going to get hurt. And so, but I'm excited about this game because Christian McCaffrey is supposedly healthy and ready to go. Sam Darnold, as you guys have said, he's got revenge on his mind.
Yep.
And if they could put up 50 points, they're going to put up 50 points on the Jets. But they're not going to put up 50 points on the Jets.
Well, if you believe Tony Romo says Wilson's going to turn around the Jets. Now, I don't know if Tony Romo picked the Jets to beat Carolina today, but I will say, a guy that knows how to break down a quarterback. Listen, say whatever you want about Tony Romo not winning football game. That guy knows talent. He sees it and he knows. Now, the question is will he be able to take that college game say whatever you want about Wilson. That guy is set for the NFL. And I don't rookies. I don't like rookies, but that guy's got the stature to be a quarterback in the NFL, Cuervo.
Yeah, he does. Can I say one more thing about Zach Wilson before we go to Cuervo?
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson he's played the pro style kind of game at BYU.
Yep.
And so he's got the experience of the pro style. But, he hasn't played against the speed of the NFL. Just the speed of the game.
Yep.
And so, he has the tools, and I think he's going to be successful. But again, we go back to what Sonny has said all the time. I don't trust rookie quarterbacks.
Yep.
And so here we go. Go ahead, Cuervo.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to trust rookie quarterbacks. You're absolutely right. Which that's why, I go back and forth with this one. I something about the revenge game.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people say that a couple times, and I think there's some truth to it. There's something about revenge games that get guys a little extra motivated to go out there and play. Look, it's week 1. Everyone's adrenaline is through the roof right now. Everyone's excited.
Yep.
Hell, us three sitting here in our
I'm ready for the kickoff.
So how do you think these players feel, right?
Yep, exactly.
So that right there alone sells me on Carolina winning this game, just because I think Darnold really wants to prove a point that he is worthy of a starting job in the NFL. Yeah, things didn't work out in New York, but you know what? It's the same old story with the Jets, guys. They gave this kid no help at all. Their best receiver was Quincy and I can't even say his name. I can't even say his name. That's how bad it is offensively, personnel-wise with this team, And then they go and they trade the one hope that they had on defense, and they trade him away. And Jamal Adams, what are you doing? You guys tried to build something, and now we're just going to give it away now.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? That deserves a big Bryce. What?
Yeah. The second, what exactly? But here's the thing, and I'm with on it. But here's what sealed the deal. I mean, look at the youth that they got at corner for the Jets. I mean, Sam Darnold is foaming at the mouth to get to that young secondary of the Jets, which is not
defense.
experienced.
He knows the weaknesses.
He knows the weaknesses on top of it. And guys, listen, I don't like to predict blowouts. I think it happens here. And more in the fact that we go back to revenge. We go back to it. I don't know what Jonathan sees. What bothers me about this is Jonathan picked him. That bothers me because when, it's like E.F. Hutton. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. When Jonathan talks, I listen to what he says. And unfortunately, we don't have him here, but he is on the Jets for some reason.
I would say probably what he's looking at, guys, is probably what you got going on up front. You know what, Greg? We're gonna talk later. But way to have my back. Hey, by the way, I'm the only one that picked your Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but
all right. So way to have my back, Greg. We're gonna talk later. I'm gonna have a bone to pick with you, buddy. I think what he's looking at, Jonathan, that is up front. You look at the defensive front of the Jets.
Yes, they got a good defensive line.
Yeah, and I remember him saying that he likes what they've got going on. So I think that's what they're looking at is it's a revenge game for Sam Darnold. Is he going to have time to throw the football? Is he going to have time to make plays, or is he going to be running for his life the whole game?
I have the Jets defensive line at number 7. And listen, if they're going to win the game, they're going to have to get Sam Darnold.
And compared to Carolina's offensive line, Sonny, you have them where?
The offensive line for Carolina, give me a second. I can get that for you as far as my look at it. Hold on. AFC. Yes, I do it by hand. Shut up, everybody. Carolina it is and what do you want? The offensive line? Yeah.
The offensive line.
It's horrible. It's the 30. I got him ranked 30th in the league. So
there you go.
Yeah,
that's what he's looking at.
That's what he's looking at. Because listen, Tom McManus will come on this show and say, listen, who cares about the quarterback? Who cares about the wide receivers? Where games are won is on the offensive line and defensive line. Whoever usually has the better one usually wins. So, but I'm just gonna hang on that revenge. I'm gonna go with revenge here.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm gonna hang out with the Carolina Panthers. And it looks like everybody but Jonathan, and that's probably exactly the reason why he is up on them. So
yeah.
But,
and you know what? And even if the line does get blown up, and I know we got to move on to this. Did we talk Chargers Washington yet?
Not yet.
No.
Okay. So even if my last thought on this game, even if it is a situation where the Jets are just blowing up Carolina's offensive line, the great thing about that, guys, is just like Obi said, he's got Darnold, one of the best safety valves, one of the best check down guys he can go to in Christian McCaffrey.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be okay. I think Carolina finds a way to win this game.
And I think in order for him also to get that win, they're going to have to use Christian McCaffrey, not running the football. Listen, that guy is pounded. Okay, he got hurt for a reason, pounding in the line.
Be careful with that, though.
Exactly. That's why I think they need to pull him out and get him out on some of these, little out routes and stuff like that, and not actually hitting the line. In third down, Christian McCaffrey should have the ball, but it should be because he caught the ball and he's running for the first down. More so than getting the handoff and running for it.
It's because the linebackers can't cover him.
Yep. So
he's too fast.
It's a tough one it's a tough one if you're going to move forward with that. But hey, we'll talk about that later, Todd.
I wish I was going to that game tonight.
Yeah. But it is what it is. All right, so that's going to take us into the next game, and this one's an interesting game too, guys. Take a look at this. If the button works. There it goes. It did or didn't?
It did. We saw it.
Bengals, Vikings.
Oh, wow. It didn't come up on my screen. Okay, so there it is. Thank you. It didn't come up on my screen. Thanks for telling me about it. But here it is. It's a Bengal team. You got that second-year quarterback, Cuervo. Everybody, Joe Burrow. Listen, I think he may have lived up to the expectations because the expectations were not set very high in reality before he got hurt, if you are a Bengal fan. That being said, on the other side, you have a coach that's holding on for dear life for his team. Okay, but they also have Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position, which kills, Zimmer. I'm telling you right now, this is a horrible year to be a Viking fan because you're going to get caught up into a lot of other things outside of Kirk Cousins. Because by midseason, if the season goes the way I think it's going to go for Minnesota, people are going to be calling for Zimmer's head. And it won't be his fault, Cuervo. And that's the bad thing about this.
That's the wrong guy to go after.
I agree. But guess what? What does it always come down to? You're not going to get rid of the players that you're paying the $20 million to play quarterback for you. It's going to be your coach unless it's John Gruden making $10 million. Okay, so outside of that, the first guy they go after is the coach. And this is a team. We've seen this team. This team, there's nothing different on this team because of their bad quarterback situation. They don't have the quarterback they want, Cuervo. They got the quarterback they're stuck with, and that is the problem in Minnesota.
Yeah, and this is like the ultimate, you're stuck with him because they went NBA on this contract, and
they did,
which still blows my mind. It's been 3-4 years now since that happened. But it's still mind-blowing to see a contract like that in the NFL. It's and then the NBA, it's like that. All contracts are fully guaranteed if I remember right. So it's crazy to see that.
And the cap hit is incredible, by the way. Even if they wanted to get rid of them, the cap hit is they're nailed to the cross with it, and they don't have a choice.
Don't extend him again, Minnesota. Well, actually, as a Bears fan, I say go ahead and keep extending.
Yeah, do that. Yeah,
but for Vikings fans, for their sanity, for their health, please just move on from Kirk Cousins.
You got to, and listen. Say whatever you want about it. He doesn't. Hey, in football or any sport for that matter, you need a guy that and just to steal the term from one of my favorite wrestlers, of course, that being Bobby Roode, you need to have the it factor, guys. And listen, say whatever you want about Kirk Cousins, he doesn't have it. Okay, he may be able to make a throw here and there. He may even win you a game, but this guy does not have the it factor. You look on the other side, and second year quarterback Joe Burrow. You think this guy's got the it factor? At least I do. I mean, I saw what he did. Listen, I didn't expect a lot from Joe Burrow. He definitely exceeded it last year, even before he got hurt. Now, they didn't win a lot of games with him, but it's about progress. It's about what he was moving toward. Now he's ready to go. Supposedly 100% they're OB. So when you're looking at this game, what are you looking at? Are you looking at Joe Burrow? Are you looking at Kirk Cousins? Or is there something else? Because as Todd said, that defense for Minnesota is not bad. It's god awful.
Give me a second. Yeah. I'm turning my cam off, but I'm still here with you.
Very good. Okay. I'll put you down.
Yeah, I see. There's a combination into this game. I think Joe Burrow got hurt last year. I was like you, buddy. I was like you. Joe Burrow spent 3 years at my favorite college football school.
Yeah.
But they kind of didn't protect him because they brought in Justin Fields and all these other quarterbacks and everything. So they let him go. So where does Joe Burrow go? He goes down there to that guy down in Louisiana who talks like this.
Yeah.
And what do? They freaking run the table.
Yes.
Joe Burrow at the quarterback, and they ran a shotgun pro style kind of system. Got Joe Burrow ready to go. Joe Burrow is a smart guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's very smart.
Yes.
And I am looking forward to see how Joe Burrow comes back from his injury today. He has got, you want to talk about something that's been served up on a nice big old heaping plate full of, let's go get him.
Yeah,
right there. The Minnesota defense is for it.
Oh, yes.
And their offense, Kirk Cousins leading this offense. What?
It's Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is a journeyman.
Yes.
A journeyman who got extended and got paid.
Big time paid. Because listen, when you're making as much money as he is, it is what it is. I'm not seeing it. I put the paid thing up. I don't think I'm able to see what's going on. I probably have to reboot my thing, but big paid if it's showing. There it is. It finally came up.
It did show, yeah.
It finally came up in a second on mine. But that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. I think the injury, the timing of Joe Burrow's injury was perfect for him, by the way. It was the best thing that happened to him. It wasn't so late in the season where you're not getting him back for week number 1. So, and more in the fact that should Minnesota win this game, yeah, maybe they should. Their defense is definitely lacking. And unfortunately for Zimmer, he's kind of just stuck with it. Let me just get to that part because I'm looking at Minnesota. Their defense, it just depends. On paper, they're not bad, okay? They're around 15, but is that going to win you football games? Yes, but is that going to be the best place where they're going to have success is on the defensive side of the ball, is in the linebacker position, and that's where they got the talent. They got the talent right there on the linebacker. But corner, they're going to get lit up. They don't have anybody there. All right. And listen, the secondary, they're around 17, 18 in my rankings, which is just enough with the combination with how bad your corners are, okay, to get lit up. So the whole thing when I was looking at this game is like, I'm excited. Well, Sonny, don't get so excited about getting Joe Burrow back. What else are the factors in this game? And what else are going to be the difference in the game? Well, there's a lot of things because you can say whatever you want about certain guys, okay? Whether it is, Joe Burrow coming off of injury and being the guy that he needs to be. Am I overlooking somebody when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings? Well, there is somebody we're overlooking at. We mentioned it. He got one of the best running backs in the NFL sitting on that football team. And this will be, how do you utilize your running back? And listen, Minnesota has got a lot of problems. Okay, the Vikings don't do a lot of things good. Okay, but if you're not going to get Delvin Cook involved at this game, this is going to hurt you. Okay, so if Minnesota is going to win this game, it's going to be because of Delvin Cook. It's not going to be for anything else. But Delvin Cook is going to be the reason why if they win, they're going to win. But I don't have them winning the game. I'm on the other side. I'm looking forward to get it all squared away. And the Bengals, it looks like Todd Mintz is going to go with the Bengals as well. But I will say this. This has to be a game for Minnesota, okay, to get the win on. Okay, you have got 6 games against, listen, say whatever you want about the Lions and how bad they are. Those are dogfights. Those division games are dogfights in the NFC North. Every single one of them reminds me of the AFC North. I mean, dogfight, big-time dogfight. Yeah, black and blue division of the NFL is right there. And they need to get this out of division win and get the season started on a good note if you're Minnesota. But Joe Burrow, he's got other things as well, Cuervo. I mean, he's got weapons. He's got things he can do. The defense isn't horrible. It's not great. It's not horrible, though. So when you're looking at Cincinnati's defense, and that's what I did when I was looking at this game, I saw the offense, which wasn't great. They got some good wide receivers, and Burrow's going to be able to get the job done. But, say whatever you want. They got a pretty good running back situation there as well. But where they're lacking, if anything, is on the defensive side as far as Cincinnati. Their defensive line is not very good. So that tells me they're not going to win that offensive line. So when I was looking at this game, as much as I wanted to do it, that defensive line makes me really scared about whether or not that Kirk Cousins, if you give him some time, he will find this guy. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a good thing for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's not because I have any faith in Kirk Cousins, but I'm actually going the Minnesota Vikings in this game because of that defensive line. And if you're going to give Kirk Cousins times, he's going to beat you. So, Cuervo, when you're looking at this game, who do you got, Cincinnati or Minnesota?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Minnesota, guys.
I am too, yep.
I just think that, I'm excited to see Joe Burrow back in the lineup.
I am too.
Cincinnati, but I just think, how many games did he play last year? Like 8? I think he played half the year.
He played half the year. And when you were gone, I said it was the best time for that injury to happen. They weren't making the playoffs. They could just put him in fire. Now he starts over, gets plenty of time to get rehabbed and ready to go for this season, Cuervo.
Yeah. And here's something that a lot of people may not be talking about, but I know it's stuff that we think about on this show. I think the loss of Giovanni Bernard is going to hurt more than people realize, because
I agree.
That's a guy that they used as a change of pace, if Joe Mixon needed a breather, whatever. And you got Gio Bernard right there to fill in. And now who's going to be that guy to back up Mixon when he needs, let's say he
P. Ryan. P. Ryan's going to do it.
Yeah. Again, who's going to be that guy?
Yeah.
So, I just, I've been hearing people saying that Minnesota's defense is looking better now than they have in a couple of years past. So, I mean, I don't know if that's due to guys coming back from injuries or just, defensive schemes that the Vikings are running now. But Minnesota's defense sounds like they're looking pretty sharp from the preseason. So that's a scary thought if you're a Bengals fan today.
Absolutely.
Could Joe Burrow be in for a long day?
You bet.
And so I'll say Minnesota.
And Obi, you're on. I got your list, but you can say it.
I got the Vikes too.
Got the Vikings too. What is so? And looks like as far as this game, we got Cincinnati picks coming from Brian Tarvin as well as Jonathan. But I think that game's going to be one up front, and the offensive line from Minnesota is going to hold off. And if you're not going to get pressure on Kirk Cousins, he'll figure out a way of beating you. That's all. Again, guys, I'm not saying he's a good football player. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying if he gets time, he can beat you, and that's where I'm at with him.
So really quick before we go to the next game, I get a feeling here that I feel like that I'm almost like a employee of NFL.com because every game that I picked, they pick the winner the same as me. So
well, see that just goes to show you're no worse than any of the quote unquote experts. So, yeah,
you are the one who knows. You are the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, Obi-Wan knows. Obi-Wan knows. That being said, that's the name of the show. On to the next game. It's this one right here. The San Francisco 49ers get the Lions. I don't have a lot to say about this game because although I have Lions finishing second in division, that I've taken a major ass kicking from everybody on the NFL online about the NFL. I don't see it. I also see Jimmy G. Listen, guys, I'm just telling you right now. If Jimmy G stays healthy, the 49ers are in really good shape to be where they were about 3 years ago. Not only that, if everybody's healthy, that team was decimated with injuries. What a great week, number one, Cuervo, you get the Detroit Lions in order to get back into the flow of things. What do you think, Cuervo?
Yeah, and you know what? Welcome to Detroit, Jared Goff. You know, he's going to get a nice stiff test his first week.
A shitburger.
Now, here's the thing, though. He's familiar with that Niners defense.
Yes.
So that's something to think about. All right? I'm not saying he plays well against them, but he knows them. He knows them well because he faces them twice a year. So
the Lions.
But here's the thing. He doesn't have Robert Woods now. He doesn't have Cooper Kupp now. He doesn't have Tyler Higbee now. He doesn't have that offensive line anymore.
Right.
He doesn't have the backfield that he does now. So
yeah,
while he knows that defense, does he have the guys to be able to do anything on that defense?
Yeah.
No Marvin Jones, Sonny? That's your boy.
That hurts my feelings.
Cuervo, do you want to hear who Jared Goff's weapons are? I can read it to you right now.
Let everybody know who they are.
There's Tyrell Williams.
Who?
Tom Kennedy.
Who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Who?
Quintez Cephas.
Who?
DeAndre Swift. Jamal Williams.
Swift is good.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson. Now that's a good one. He's a good quarter. He's a good tight end.
Very good.
He's a good tight end.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean,
who? What?
Yeah.
So yes.
God, I miss that guy.
He'll be in. He'll be in about, I said, about 30 minutes before kickoff. That's just what he does. He makes us wait, but it is. But no, the Lions today.
That was terrible. Crazy knucklehead, terrible.
It's gonna be a bad week here, and so like I said, I didn't have a lot to say. Although and Cuervo already is on the 49ers. I knew that before we went into it. Unless you're not gonna do a left turn on me, Cuervo, and pick the Lions today, are you? Hell, I got more love for the Lions than anybody, and I didn't pick them today.
Well, Sonny.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I forgot to load the clip. Sorry.
And my brother last year was burned so much by the Detroit Lions last year, he'll never pick them again. And Greg Weber's on the 49ers as well. Definitely got burned last year. And guess what? He picked the Lions often, and he still won the damn pick'em game. I love my brother, but I hate him at the same time. But not a lot to talk about this game.
Brothers.
I do want, listen, I do want to see quarterback play in this game. I do. And the reason why I want to see quarterback play is I want to see if Jared Goff can see it. What do I always say about quarterbacks? You make other players step up. Can Jared Goff get those no-namers that OB is talking about and step up a little bit? You're not going to expect, 150, 200-yard games from them, but can they get 75 to 80, maybe get a touchdown or not, maybe make their name familiar? That's what he has to do. I don't think he's going to get it because I'm telling you right now, San Francisco's defense, that defensive line is going to eat up that offensive line. I have a feeling Jared Goff is going to be running for his life into that one. So that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. You didn't have a lot to talk about that one, but this one's an interesting one, especially with a guy that lives in, Arizona, guy that lives in Arizona. And I will tell you, the Arizona Cardinals today, they get to come to Jesus week number 1 because they get a quarterback that's coming in there, Ryan Tannehill. Listen, the best stat ever. Last 2 years, 106.1 quarterback rating for Ryan Tannehill, a guy that's turned his career around. Now, granted, he's not doing as much. He's not running as much. He's being able to be a quarterback. Now, if he throws for 106.1 or more, he'll be the first quarterback in NFL history to do it for 3 years in a row. But the Arizona Cardinals, they're in a lot of trouble because guess what? The Arizona Cardinals are a football team that's really became one-dimensional. And I'm talking about their offense and Kyler Murray. So, Cuervo, you're going to live and die by Kyler Murray. Are they going to die today?
Well, I mean, I think there's a possibility that Arizona goes in there and plays a good game today. I think there's a very good chance.
And give me your reasoning, because when I was looking at this, is it desperation? The reason why they'll win, or is it burn marks, griddle marks on their asses? Because if they don't win, everything's going to change for Arizona. What is your look on the Arizona Cardinals that think that they can beat Tennessee today?
Well, I mean, look, everybody's enamored with the Titans, and I get that. Here's the thing, though. If you really take a deep dive into their defense, I'm actually not that impressed with it. And so what really carries this Titans team is the ground and pound offense that they have.
Right.
And that's what really carries them. You know what I mean? So if you were to look at your stats, your rankings, Sonny, you probably would see Tennessee secondary, maybe middle of the pack. Up front, maybe middle of the pack. Because you lose Jadeveon Clowney, right? And that was your one guy that you could really say was a stud on the defense, was a guy that, you had to kind of watch out for.
Right.
And unless I'm missing someone, I don't see any other guys like that on this Titans defense. It's a very average defense.
Well, just to let you know, I got Tennessee on their defensive line, number 23, number 21 in the secondary, 20 at linebacker, 21 at cornerback. So granted, they're not anything to write home to mama about. But on the other side of that, exactly. But on the other side of that, when you are Tennessee, you have a pretty good offensive line. Not great, but good enough, because guess what? They've got the number 5. They got the number 5 running back in the league right there with Henry. But the rest of it, the running back, the second best running back, the wide receivers, they got a great core. If you think that Julio Jones will be the thing that takes them to step over, where they're hurting those, they don't have a lot of good tight ends, but in this game, and just the way the coaching staff coaches in Tennessee, Mike Vrabel will keep this game close. And I think Todd mentioned that as well. And Cliff Clinsbury, he's not a fan of Cliff Clinsbury. I don't think anybody really is until they start winning football games. But DeAndre Hopkins, and just Greg Wepper has mentioned it, if they're going to win, A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, and A.J. Brown, those guys, and Julio Jones, this game is going to be about wide receivers. What team has the best ones? That will be determined, I think. But I don't think the wide receivers are going to be the thing that gets them up and over. It's going to be a combination of the running back and the wide receivers. The running back, obviously, better in Tennessee. That's why I'm on Tennessee. Cuervo, who do you got?
I'm going to go on the other side, Sonny. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals.
He might be hanging out on a limb. Oh, no. Brian Tarvin's on the Arizona Cardinals as well. Obi, what are you looking at in this game as far as Tennessee is concerned?
Oh, man, I've been waiting to talk about this game.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to give you guys some info that I think I've talked to Sonny about for a long time.
He's going to slap some knowledge on the couch.
Right, I'm going to give you some numbers. Are you ready for this? All right.
Go for it.
Number one is I'm going to start off, and I'm taking the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
And here's why Obi is taking Tennessee Titans. Number one is coach at the Cardinals is not very good. Number two, the Cardinals can't run the ball. Number three, Tennessee is a ground and pound, black and blue. You give that, they're going to ball control and everything. But number four, are you ready for number four stat?
Number four, okay.
In the last, and I could be stretching it, but I'm going to tell you, I'm pretty solid. In the last 10 years, Arizona Cardinals has won one game east of the Mississippi. And the coach,
I heard that.
The coach that was the leader of that one game that they won on the East Coast was not Cliff Kingsbury. It was Bruce Arians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Cardinals east of the Mississippi, they cross that Mississippi River, and it's like they go into no man's land. And the Cardinals are a one-dimensional team right now.
Absolutely.
This I don't think it's going to happen, but this game could get ugly in a hurry.
Yeah, it could be, and I don't know. When you're in the position that you are as the Arizona Cardinals, and a team that maybe not necessarily not the type of team that can go on the road and do what they do, this year becomes even more important for Cliff Kingsbury moving forward, because he is on the hot seat. He's one of the 5 or 6 coaches on the NFL hot seat right now, and even before the end of the year, he could be hearing, "You're fired." I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, your wife loves Tennessee. So, listen. You say whatever you want. Oh, okay. Oh, I had something pop up on my screen. Oh, I can ignore that. Okay, cool. That being said, I don't trust Arizona, and that's one of the things when you look at Arizona and you're sitting there holding your breath every time they're out on the football field, especially offensively. Hey, all you got to do is go back to Jake Plummer days. It's the same thing, just a different style quarterback. Because when Jake Plummer was the quarterback, you were like. And you hope Chris Dishman was healthy, and that's the Arizona Cardinals offensive line isn't the best as well for this offense too. I was looking here. Hold on, let me just get to that NFC. Next page over. NFC Arizona Cardinals. Look at this. The Arizona Cardinals offensive line is number 11. Not the worst, but when you got a Kyler Murray, you got to be better than that. You got to be knowledgeable. You got to be top 5, because you don't know if he's going to throw it, when he's going to take off, and if and when he takes off, you don't know which way he's going to go. One of my problems with the Arizona Cardinals, and I've seen it all year last year, there were no plays really developed for Kyler Murray. This is a straight-out run play, meaning having the offensive line having a job that looks totally different than what they do on any other play, because they're going to intentionally run the football. And moving the guys along the line, making it easier for Kyler Murray. I just don't see the offensive line being as good as they need to be for a Kyler Murray to be successful, whether that's throwing the football or just having some design plays for him to do what he can do with his feet. So, but Cuervo, on the other hand, he's gonna ride the Arizona bandwagon as well as Tarvin in that game. So it should be interesting. You going to get the high and tight? I think we got Cuervo.
I'm on my way.
He's on his way. So we got.
I want to ask Cuervo. Did I convince him to change his pick?
Cuervo?
No, sir.
Okay.
All right. So
sticking with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. So Arizona Cardinals.
I think where Arizona wins it real quick, guys, is the secondary of the Cardinals. I think will find a way to not stop, but they'll contain Julio and A.J. Brown. I think they'll contain
That's going to be a tall task.
That's going to be a tall task. Yep.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Don't sleep on Budda Baker, guys. He's one of the most underrated safeties.
See, and I knew he was going to Budda Baker. I knew it because he's got the mad love for Budda Baker. He's had it ever since they got him. And
he got the man crush.
Big time.
He's got a cool name.
But here's the best thing about the Arizona Cardinal defense is not Budda Baker. It's not the secondary. It's not the linebacker. It's the defensive line. And say whatever you want. They got one of the better ones, top 15 defensive line, but the rest of it all in the 20s, and that's not going to get done whether it's two wide receivers for Tennessee or the running back, or even throw the running back and let him catch the ball as well, which is one thing Tennessee does not do. They don't utilize Henry very much in the passing game, which I think is a mistake. But it is what it is. Yep. Absolutely. So, all right. So we're on that one. Next game up here. Let's put it up. Oh my God! It worked. There it is. The Los Angeles Chargers. They are on the road. They're taking on the Washington football team, the Red Wolves. Yeah, I said it. That's what their name's going to be. Yeah, they're going to be called the Red Wolves. You watch. But they're just the football club this year. But defense is going to win this game. That's going to be the thing. And say whatever you want. And I love me some Justin Herbert, but it's the defensive line that's going to get in there. And listen, Justin Herbert, hopefully he's in mental form of year 3 or 4, even though we know he's in his second year, Cuervo. I don't know. What do you think about Justin Herbert's chances against Washington and that defense coming at him? Because that's a damn good defense headed their way.
That is a damn good defense. And the key is going to be Herbert having time to make plays, to make throws. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the key, because Washington, I know, according to your rankings, I think they're a top 5 defense up front, and rightfully so. So is Herbert going to have the time to throw to Keenan Allen, to throw to Williams, and get that offense going? So that's going to be the key, is giving Herbert time to make some plays.
Yes, definitely. And if he doesn't have the time, again, just to give you an idea what's coming their way, their defensive line, I got them ranked 2nd in the NFL. Their secondary is pretty damn good. I got them ranked at 11. Where they are, suspect is linebacker and corner. Corner, they're about 20th. So if Herbert's going to get the time, he's going to have to throw the football, and hopefully he'll be able to make the connections down the field. I want to see Justin Herbert get off to a good game. I really do. I want to see him get off. But this is a bad week for week number 1 for a young kid coming off of a halfway decent season, and all the quote unquote potential for this guy to be good. So, and Cuervo, I see you're at your high and tight, right?
I'm in the parking lot, yeah.
In the parking lot. That being said, who do you have winning this game and why?
All right, guys, you ready? I've been waiting for this one.
All right.
For the first time, Sonny, the first time, I'm predicting in an NFL game, this game will end in a tie.
No.
Yes. This game will end in a tie.
All right. So if somebody wins, you're going to take the loss, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I'll take
All
the
right.
loss.
So he says a tie. This is a couch potato first. Predicting a tie. I will never do that, regardless of how bad. So interestingly enough,
it's week 1. Anything can happen.
Hey, what about your boy Ryan Fitzmagic? Come on. I mean, don't you got any trust in Ryan Fitzmagic?
Well, hold on, Sonny. First of all, I'm very proud of you for using the nickname.
I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. It's the worst nickname in NFL history, maybe the second. But damn it, I did it for you because I know how to lob it to you really good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know it might sound like a cop-out, but look, when I look at this game, I just think it's a wash on both sides. You know, the offense of the Chargers versus that I almost called them the Skins, the Washington defense. To me, it's just on both sides. It's like these are such two evenly matched teams that you know, you can call it a cop-out if you want. You can call it dumb, whatever. I think this game is going to – and how many times have we seen ties in week 1 in the NFL?
That's when they usually have it. But, you know, it's week number 1. I mean, come on. Cuervo, what? You're going to pick a tie? I mean, really? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Bryce, get your ass in here and stop asking.
Yeah, no kidding, right? He's only got one word to say today, you know. So I don't know.
What?
I'm sure he has more words to say.
Yeah, I'm sure he does, especially when we'll be talking about that.
All
Yeah.
right, guys.
So, all right, he's up.
I'll be back on as soon as I can.
Yep, and be back. And if you don't, just the second half, we just need your picks for, and we'll get them if you don't get back. He's Cuervo.
I'll be back.
Got it. All right. Yeah, definitely. How long does it take, by the way?
Well, it depends. If I get in the chair right away, about 20 minutes.
All right, cool. So hopefully we'll get in the chair. We'll catch you on the flip-flop fun, man. We are talking
guys.
NFL.
See you soon.
You got it. Always good to see you. We'll get him back here in just a moment. Now, that leads us into the next game is we're going to continue on because we still got games to cover. That's just what we do here on the Couch Potato Sports Show.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about this game.
That's right. Yeah, go for it. Forget. I thought you had you had Sonny's side on this, but
I do. I have picked the Washington football team.
You did.
Who will not? I'm going to tell you, will not be the Red Wolves. They will be a different name. I can't remember what names. It was.
There was like 6 of them. There were 6.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think whatever their nickname is, it's going to be like kind of like a political kind of, the Admirals or something like that. That's what I see. But anyway, here's what I see. I really like Justin Herbert. I think he's a really good quarterback.
Great.
He's got the tools. He's got the size. He's got the mobility. I really like him. I liked him so much. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and I finished second. Well, whatever. Anyway, I'm just going to say, what have you and we've known each other for a very long time, right?
Very long time.
And what have I always said? I've said a couple of things a lot of time. Speed kills.
Yes.
And defense wins championships.
Yes.
Washington's defense is going to be the factor, the deciding factor in this game.
Stellar. Their defense is really good.
Yeah.
And not only that, they proved it last year against good football teams outside their division. Listen, they play in the bad division of football. Let's be honest. The NFC East is nothing to write home to mama about. But it was the other games outside of there and keeping them in games when they didn't have the offense to get the job done. That's the reason why. Now, is Ryan Fitzpatrick the reason why this offense is going to be good? No, but, it's better than what they've had in the past. And listen, I said it before. I'll say it again. They should have never changed to Tua in Miami. Not because I hate Tua. Okay, please, everybody needs to get off of that racket. It was the timing of this and the way it was brought on to bring Tua into the game. Ryan Fitzpatrick had them set for playoffs all day long. And then they just turned their back on the guy that put him in the position, and it was it was a horrible decision. And I don't stand corrected because I was right. They shouldn't have done it, even though the results may not have been any different. You still, when you got a chance to make the playoffs, you go with the guys that are getting you there. And turning your back on Ryan Fitzpatrick and then trying to have Ryan Fitzpatrick teach him how to beat football teams, I get where he's coming from. So retread, for the Washington football team at the quarterback, but I've seen worse in the NFL. This game is going to be won on the defensive line. And listen, if you're going to get in Justin Herbert's face, you better do it. You better do it quick, and that's where it's going to come from. Where the plays need to be made is going to be in the Washington secondary, and I think that's where they're going to win the game. They're going to win in the secondary because that defense is going to get to them, make Justin Herbert make mistakes, and that's what this defense can do. But what has to step up, and I'm going to go back to my rankings, okay, because it's important. NFC defense, here it is. Washington, as far as their defense is concerned, is where the linebackers and corners, where they're ranked in the 20. So you need that number 2 defensive line to put the quarterback in a position where they'll make bad plays, and your linebackers and corners need to step up from being ranked in the 20s to put you around 12 or 13, and that will be a successful thing if they can keep the offense. The offense, Washington's going to win a lot of games by 24 points or less this year because of that defense. We've only seen it at Baltimore when they had a killer defense out on the football field. Low-scoring games won the football games. Who was at the quarterback at the time? Just looking at all these things, I kind of look what it is. And whether or not, that being said, if Tua really did suck, I don't know if he necessarily sucked, because he was a rookie quarterback. It's just bad decisions, and that's from coaching, and you need to have the coaching that is there. And if you look at Washington, they got Riviera. I don't care what anybody says. If anybody makes the Carolina Panthers successful outside of Cam Newton, it's because they had Ron Rivera there, and he is what made Cam Newton be as good as he was. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't think Cam Newton's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL because of all of his talent. It's because of how plays were developed for him to play the game. And that's what Washington needs to do. They need to put Ryan Fitzpatrick, find his strengths, make plays based upon what he can do. And I think they'll do it because that's just the way Ron Rivera does things.
I agree with everything you just said.
Yep. So that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. I am on Washington and Ty. So Cuervo, whoever wins, Cuervo's taking the loss. I'm one game up. I just don't see it, but it is what it is. I like the tie pick. And then we have Bryce is on the Chargers, and Tarvin's on Washington, and so is Jonathan. My brother is on the Chargers. And where do you have it? Who are you picking? Oh, you already picked. You picked Washington.
That's right.
So that being said, I'm going to save the next game until we get Bryce in. So we just skip over that one and head to this one. Yeah, the Dolphins are on the road to take on the New England Patriots. And a different look, different feel to the New England Patriots. Listen, this is more of the Patriots from years past with Tom Brady than they are with Cam Newton, because let's be honest, Cam Newton and Tom Brady, they are not the same. This team, I don't think, was built to have a Cam Newton because they don't want the quarterback to run the football. They want the quarterback to control the clock, and you don't get that in reality with the Cam Newton. Now, you can say whatever you want, that the young quarterback was teaching, Cam Newton, the playbook. And you can take offense to that all day long if you're Cam Newton. But guess what? When you got a rookie going in there telling you what the playbook says instead of what he thinks it is, that right there is so telling at what this team was set for. They didn't want Cam Newton at all. They want who they got. They want a guy that will stand like a statue in the back and wait to the last moment to get rid of the ball. They don't want the risk of Cam Newton fumbling the football, getting hit, or getting hurt. Instead, they just go ahead, wipe that whole thing clean. They say, guess what, Mac Jones, you're more like what we have seen before in past in New England. We're going to ride you. And then Cam Newton, who says that he's not number 32, is not out on a football team. So if he's not number 32, why is he not out on a football field? Why is it? Attitude. Listen, you say whatever you want. We can make fun of him looking like grandmama going to the stadiums all day long. But guess what? That matters. I'm telling you right now, it matters. This is the NFL, okay? All right, so the expectations of you to be a professional are there. And when you don't, regardless how bad your football team is, you don't want a guy that's going to be in the newspaper for all the wrong reasons, Cuervo. And you can say whatever you want about Cam Newton. This guy gets in the headlines for the wrong reasons, whether it's grandmama, looking like grandmama, or having a temper tantrum, or whatever the case may be. He may do some off-the-field great things, but when it comes to professionalism on game day, Cam Newton doesn't have it. He has never had it, and that is the reason why he's not in New England, because Mac Jones shown that he could be more of a professional. And when they go into this game, as they are going to take on Miami, they get Tua. Listen, it's kind of the same thing. Tua is still a rookie in my mind. Mac Jones is that. And I like a Mac Jones quarterback more so than a Tua, even though Tua does give you a little bit more optics in reality because he can move the ball. But will the past gruesome injury that he had still weigh in his mind, Obi? And that is one of the things that I look at this game, and it's the reason why I'm on the New England side more so than the quote-unquote more experienced Tua. What are you looking at in this game?
Well, I'm looking at, I believe, you quote me if I'm wrong,
okay,
but I'm looking at it right now. Yes, I did. I picked the Dolphins to win this game.
Yes, you did.
And everything that you said about Cam Newton is everything that I've been thinking ever since this goofball came into the NFL.
I think I'm right.
This guy was never. I'm still scratching my head on why the Patriots went and got him, because he was not a Bill Belichick kind of guy.
Obi, guess what? I got the reason why. It's temporary insanity. That's what is breaking news. That's what ended up happening over here.
Okay,
because
right.
that guy never fit the mold of the Patriots. Granted, this guy is a former MVP, took him to the Super Bowl. He had some accolades. I'm not going to take that away from him, but it's not the Patriot way. I mean, so temporary insanity and desperation make you do a lot of things. And that's what ended up happening. And when they realized, guess what? We're going to get the rookie quarterback. Bill Belichick isn't an idiot. He knows who the rookie quarterback is. But when you're looking at the rookie quarterback and you're trying to decide which one that is more professional and maybe be able to be mature enough. And I think this is all about maturity and ego getting in the way. I'm not number 32. Well, maybe you should think of yourself as maybe not number 1. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and listen to your coaches, play the game they want to play, because guess what? They didn't win 7 Super Bowls or 6 Super Bowls for nothing. Now, granted, was it a toxic environment? You can't have fun. Well, guess what? A job is not necessarily fun. A job is to win football games, and guess what? The end result is fun. That's Bill Belichick. It's not all the fancy stuff or all the things that Cam Newton does to make this game more entertaining. The game itself is entertaining enough when you win a Super Bowl. That's why he never fit the mold of what the Patriots are.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, this guy, hey, was it Cam Newton's arm that got the Patriots as far as they did?
Pretty much.
No, it was never his arm. It was about he was a big kid who was able to, goal line, give him the ball. He was like an extra running back kind of guy. And so, and just, I think after, as far as he took Carolina and the shortness of the years where he took Carolina, it just compounded his persona, his thoughts about himself.
Right.
It's all about me. It's all about me, and
What?
I'm the one. It's like, no, you're not. I mean, come on, really?
Not when you go to the Patriots. Not when you go to the Patriots. Guess what? You're just a body, man. Because you want to talk someone that will eat you up and spit you out. Bill Belichick, you're a piece of gum to him. And if your juicy fruit doesn't last very long, he'll spit your ass out. And that's exactly what ended up happening there. If there was any kind of horizon, where he's seeing potential of Cam Newton going back to the Cam Newton that was supposedly good, he would be starting week number 1. When Bill Belichick sees that you're done, you're done. And all you are is rubber in your mouth, in the mouth of gum, living in the life of gum. You better have some juice. And guess what? Cam Newton loses the juice way too quick, and he just got spitted out. And interestingly enough, that story about Mac Jones teaching Cam Newton the playbook, before it was enough, when I heard that, I said, this guy's gone. This guy's gone. Because not only that, let's just say they're showing Cam Newton up. And the last thing that you do is show Cam Newton up. Make him look like an idiot publicly. And that's exactly what happened there, too. There was no way he was going to live through that whole situation after that news. And I knew Cam Newton was done. But the interesting thing about that is before they canned him out, this is the reason why you can't listen to press conferences and take them seriously. Because after the game, Bill Belichick said, yep, he's doing exactly what we need him to do to be the number 1 quarterback for our football team. And literally the next day, they cut his ass. All right, so it is what it is. And
I mean, you got to. But what you just said, you got to. Who spoke those words? Bill Belichick.
Absolutely, yeah.
Bill Belichick.
It's the biggest liar in the NFL, man.
Yes, but here's the thing. He's not dumb.
No.
This guy, he tells the press what they want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which most of the time, I mean, when he does, you watch his press conferences, most of the time he doesn't say a whole lot.
No. In fact, half of it's there.
Okay, but when he says, Chris, Sonny, this guy, he said it's almost like if an owner comes out to the press and says, "Oh no, our head coach, he's our guy, and we're going to keep him." That's a death wish.
Yeah, that's the
pretty much, and that's what Belichick did.
Yeah,
anybody that had a half a brain in the press should have saw this. It's like, oh my God, he just said that. Cam Newton's done.
Yeah.
With all of this and everything, so we can continue to get this moving along. I picked the Dolphins today to beat the Patriots. Yes, I guess maybe that's a little bit of an upset. But I not to say that I'm on the Tua bandwagon, but I just think somehow, some way, things are still just a little bit not cohesive enough in New England, at least for week 1. And so I that's kind of why I picked it.
I look at it the opposite way. If it's going to happen, if it's going to be good, we'll see it in week number 1. And when you get the opponent that you get in Miami, you get it. Hey, listen, I love me some Brian Flores. I love the fact that he was, he's getting to his players and everything else. I'm just not sold on Tua per se right now. Listen, and it's not because I don't think that Tua is going to be a good quarterback. I think Tua, after he gets 3 years underneath his belt, he's probably going to be one of the better NFL quarterbacks, but he won't be in Miami by that time. He'll be someplace else. So he's going to have to do what Ryan Tannehill did after going out of Miami. Retread himself up, get ready for his new team to play at his strengths. And right now, I don't know if Miami knows what his strengths are. Bill Belichick knows everybody's strength. So that's the reason why I'm going with I'm just going now. Last year, or actually not last year, the year before that, I picked Miami to beat New England in New England, and people thought I was crazy, but I'm not crazy as a fox this year. I'm not going to do it. I don't trust the Miami Dolphins enough to go ahead and pick them in this game. So, but this one's it's gonna be a good game. But I think they're gonna pull away with maybe 5 or 6 minutes left to go in the game. So that's gonna take us to the next game. And I gave.
Oh, he's down. The 15-yard line made a tackle. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Okay, I don't know if anybody can hear me now. Hopefully I can. Oh, can you hear me now, Obi? Awesome, cool. Can I hear you?
I don't know, can
you? So that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. You gotta love old technical difficulties, but I am gonna go to the Broncos. Because it's cool looking and I did it anyway. The Broncos, listen, the Broncos are a football team that has the potential, but guess what? They're playing another team that supposedly has potential. I don't know. But I mean, they're the Giants. They play in the worst division of football. The Broncos are not the best team. They're the worst team in their own damn division. They have no quarterbacks. They got 3 of them, so they have 0. I don't even know who's worse. Is it the guy that can't run the damn football to get into the end zone, tripping over a blade of grass, or is it 3 quarterbacks that'll end up beating you? However, you do get Von Miller back, and that is a huge thing on the defensive side of the ball. The Broncos defensively look really, really good. I mean, outside of anything, but the Giants are who they are. Listen, and that's not a good football team. And say whatever you want. I want Jones to be good. Why? Because you go with the pedigree. The pedigree of Eli and Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. Where he went to college, who his coach was, who his coach is now, all that stuff. You see the recipe, but whether or not you're going to stir it enough to make it come out to be a nice cake and you can frost the top with a wide receiver here and there to help you, or a running back and Saquon Barkley, who is supposedly in rumors to go over to Baltimore. That hasn't been done yet. What would be the pull for that? I don't know. Why would the Giants?
I hope not.
It's something stupid, but if you're going to get Saquon Barkley, you better get something in return, and I'm talking big things in return. But it is what it is. Saquon Barkley is where he is. All right. So when I looked at this game, I was like, this is really simple. I'm going to go Denver, but then I go back to the quarterback position, and this is a team that is in a lot of trouble going into the season. And I hate that for this team because I always wanted the Broncos to be good. Not only that, they lost Philip Lindsay to the Texans, and so they lose a running back. This team offensively, they're the worst jigsaw puzzle ever. Okay, you can't put it together. Their offense is not there, even though their defense is there. It's huge. Now, in this game, you look at the defense and go, Well, this defense can hold back the Giants, but I'll ask Obi, do the Broncos have enough to score enough points to beat the Giants?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't. Here's the key player that I see in this game. I'll say two key players on defense. I agree with you, Von Miller.
Yes,
He's the key player in this game. But on offense, the key player in this game is Saquon Barkley.
absolutely.
Where is he at? Where is he at with his injury?
Yep.
Is this injury that he had last year, blowing out his knee, is that going to, as we would say, settle in his mind? Is he going to be able to, I won't say who's really explosive, but be the player that he was before the
Right.
injury? And that's the big thing. And I think that's the deciding factor. I think the Giants do just enough to win this game. And oh, by the way, they're at home. They're playing at the Meadowlands. And here's, what did I say when Cuervo was in? Every one of my picks, I must be working for NFL.com because it's been right on.
Jim?
No, the NFL.com went with Cuervo move, and they picked this game as a tie. So I am not going to go there.
I'm not going to do it either. I'm going to pick a winner, damn it.
I think the Giants have just enough to get a win in this game today.
It will be, if that happens, it will because of what Saquon Barkley will do, and it won't be because of what he runs the football. Listen, you're not going to run the football. Saquon Barkley is not going to run the football today, and the main reason it's not because the Giants have any defensive line that makes you want to write home to mama about. I mean, because when you're looking at the Giants' defensive line, they're ranked 18th. That's nothing big. It's their secondary though. They got a pretty good secondary, top 5. But the problem is everything else around them needs a little help. They got a pretty good cornerback as well. So I'm seeing a couple of different things. But when I looked at the other side, I looked at the defensive side for the Broncos. Everything is in line for them to be successful, okay, except for the other side of the football. So you got to, if you're Denver, you got to fix the offensive side of the ball, because you're not doing it. It's so much so. Why are you not doing it? Well, your offensive line's god-awful. You may have a pretty good wide receiver core, and they do, by the way, just to let everybody know. But outside of that, their tight ends, average at best, below average in reality at running back. Getting rid of Lindsey was a big hit on that reason why. And listen, they don't have a quarterback. They might have the worst quarterback situation in the NFL, and when you don't have that, and then just throw this out here, the NFC, when you look at the Giants defensive line, even at 18, going up against the Denver offensive line that is at 24, if they get to it, if they get to the quarterback, which I think they will, they're going to make the quarterback make a mistake. It's the reason why I'm on the it's the reason why I am on the Giants this year, or this game anyway. Denver, I wish we went. I love me some Von Miller. I want to see this guy get another opportunity. When they picked up DeMarcus Ware from the Cowboys, I thought let's watch out. Now that DeMarcus Ware is retired, Von Miller's back after injury. How's he going to see? Listen, defensive linemen are just like any other position. They got to figure out how they're going to play coming off an injury as well. So yeah. Von Miller's got that situation coming with them. Listen, I don't think the Giants are anything to write home to mama about, but I think in this game, I think they're going to have the pivotal players to be able to make the plays. And I think there's going to be 6 sacks in this game. And it may be against 3 quarterbacks. I don't know. But, I mean, it is what it is. I think that's where the thing is. It's going to be one on the line, and it's going to be on the defensive side.
I see something like, I would say 13-10, 17-14, low scoring, not a lot of offense, some decent defense.
Yes.
I would say in the NFL standards, it's going to be could be a boring game.
Well, that just depends on what you like to see. I mean, if you love some defense, I mean, I think you might, and you want to see quarterback sacks, I think that's going to be headed your way in this one, because I think so. If you like a good defensive game coming from there, even though the Giants aren't great defensively, they'll do just enough in reality. But what they'll listen, as far as the Giants are concerned, the Giants are already seeing the Dallas Cowboys go down. Okay, will the Eagles win today? I mean, they got Atlanta. I don't think they will. The only other team that has a chance, I think, in my opinion, winning, Washington. And if you're going to keep up with Washington this year, this is a game you got to win. So I think there's a lot of mentality playing in this one, because when you're in the NFC East, 9 games gets you into the playoffs. So that
maybe even 8.
Well, 8 could you 8-9 record or no, yeah, an 8-9 record. 8-9. That's pathetic, but that's what we saw last year in the NFC East. It was just it wasn't bad. It was god awful, but it is what it is. That takes us to the next game here on the Couch Potato Sport. The Green Bay Packers going up against the Saints. Listen, I'm hearing a lot of talk, Obi, a lot of talk, and all I want to know is, before they started talking, I want to know who is hitting what.
Are you going the same way I'm going to go?
Jameis Winston is not a good quarterback. I'm sorry, he's not. Listen, I've watched this guy, whether it's him stealing crabs in college or playing in the NFL. This guy is not good. Why does everybody think Jameis Winston's good? Oh, he's got a cannon. Well, when you got a cannon and you can't give it to anybody, what's the use of having a cannon? If you have a cannon, you need to have accuracy.
Hey, can I give you a name?
Sure.
It came in the NFL a long time, not a long time. Well, back in the 90s.
Oh, wait. I don't want you to do this. I like to play this game. Okay. I like to play this game, and I want to see if I can guess what player you're saying. And I just wrote it down, and I got it ready. So go ahead. Say the name.
Ryan Leaf.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That was correct.
But his attitude sucks. Who cares if you have a freaking cannon?
Yes. Well,
yeah. And by the way, Ryan Leaf wasn't very smart.
Oh no, he wasn't that smart. But
what was the name? What name you wrote down?
Well, I thought you were going cannon, and I thought you were going cannon. And I wrote down Rich Gannon. I thought you were going to go that route. I really did.
Okay.
I don't know. But
you remember Ryan Leaf?
I know. Yeah. Were you with me? Were you with me when I said that Ryan Leaf was going to be better than Peyton Manning? Did I know you by then? I think I might have said that. I think you might have even had an argument.
90s, buddy.
Oh, it was in the 90s. And listen, I have never been able to live that prediction down at all. I mean, because first of all, I admitted it. And second of all, I wasn't just wrong. I was way wrong, as far as that was concerned.
Hey, you got to do me a favor. Next week,
okay,
you got to come up with some sort of video that's out there with Ryan Leaf losing it in the locker room.
Oh God, I can find that.
I want you to have that queued up for next week.
I'll have it easy to find. And I will also have on the back of it the reading of the apology, which is my second favorite video, by the way. Talk about a guy who really, reads it and then throws it. It was just classic. But
dude, I think you and I mean, this was really scary. Is you and I, it goes back. We've known each other for a long time.
92, 1990s when we we met in 89.
Yeah. And here's the thing is, can I say it? Great minds think alike.
Absolutely, of course. I mean, I've had a show for 12 years. This mind is definitely working.
I'm telling you, Chris, I do not understand what people see in Jameis Winston.
I don't either.
And I cannot. I would have gone on my deathbed at the end of last year when Drew Brees retired. I was there. I was like, okay, this is going to be Taysom Hill's team. He's going to be the quarterback.
Yes.
And when it comes out, it's like Jameis Winston's going to be our starter. He's like, what in the F were you guys thinking?
Well, here's the thing. Thinking about that, I don't think Sean Payton's an idiot.
No.
So why is Jameis Winston starting? I'm missing something. All right, listen. The better football mind is Sean Payton. Okay, I'll admit it. Okay, the better football mind is Sean Payton. But I want.
No, it's not.
I don't know what he's smoking. Listen, Hill is not a good quarterback either, and I get it. The pocket quarterback, maybe the thing, maybe that is the reason why, but it's not going to be enough to get the win. Never mind it's Green Bay, okay? Listen, forget the fact that it's Green Bay. You say whatever you want. Taysom Hill, I don't know. I just know he sucks. Do I know he's better than Jameis Winston sucks? Do I know he's better than Taysom Hill? I don't know, because all I got was one or two games, and what I saw I didn't like. And the thing that fits the mold of the quarterback I like better is Jameis Winston, because he will stay in the pocket. Okay, so just looking at it in that view, when I was looking at, but you know what I think? This is what I think. Maybe I've just figured Sean Payton out. He knew he wasn't going to win this game. It's the Green Bay Packers. So why put in your quote-unquote future quarterback if it's Taysom Hill? Put him up against the Green Bay Packers to get your ass handed to you in Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, by the way. Not even at home, but I mean, why put him in there? I mean, there's no need to risk it. I mean, I hate this. Okay? I hate young people. I don't like young people because you got to worry about what they think, and he might get his feelings, or he might just lose his confidence. I don't know. Will someone just please? But that is what we got here. This is what we got here. I don't think Sean Payton's this stupid. I think he's protecting Taysom Hill from getting his ass handed to him in week number 1. And why not put the quarterback that you want to make out there? Jameis Winston is not good. And listen, I've had Jonathan on this show. Oh, yeah. And listen, I even made excuses for him too. I mean, Bruce Arians like, screw it. Just throw it. I mean, we're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, just throw it. Screw it. And that was the idea, and that's the reason why they had 32. But even if you knock off half of them, that's still 15. That's too many. I think Sean Payton is protecting his quarterback. I really do. And I just, in reality, when I heard that he was going to start, I immediately went to the schedule to find out who they were playing. And that's what it came to me. It came to me. He's not that stupid. He's smart. I mean, because he knows how to baby these guys. See, I'm not that baby and type. I just throw Taysom Hill out there and say, go get your ass kicked. We'll figure it out week number 2. But maybe that's the reason why Sean Payton is an NFL coach, and I'm just doing this stupid little show I do each and every week. So,
it's not a super little show. It's been running for 12 years, buddy.
12 years. That's just because I want, as my wife would say, I just want to hear myself talk. So, but anyway, it is what it is.
You already know where I was going with this game, so
yeah.
Let's move forward.
I don't think we have a lot. Well, guess what? That leads us to the games that we wanted to wait, which would be the Kansas City and Brownie game and the Pittsburgh Steeler game. And the last game on it will go to Monday. Well, we don't have – see, that's the problem. So we're going to go to Monday Night Football. Yes, and wait for the other guys to get in. Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens are on the road. And, I didn't hit the button, so let me just hit that. Wait, where did it? Bang, right That being said, of course, that's the name of this show. This is a pretty good game. Not because these are good football teams, okay? They just suck as bad as each other do. That's all. Listen, the Raiders are not a good football team. Their head coach and quarterback, I'm telling you right now, they'll say everything perfect in the media. These two don't like each other. I'm telling you right now, Derek Carr and Chucky don't like each other. They don't like the way they do business. And Chucky does not like the fact that he gets questioned by his quarterback. And Chucky does not want, or in his mind, need advice from Carr. Run the damn play I tell you to run, or whoever sends it in. And guess what? That is not meshing, and it hasn't meshed. I mean, this is going to be year number 4, okay, with them being together, okay, 3 years, and they'll come out in public and say all the right things. I won't play for another coach. Bullshit. Yeah, I just said it. Okay, because if anybody gives him money, he's going to play football. So I'm not buying into this nonsense. I'm not buying into the stuff. So when Chucky's when Chucky talks, I just want to say, shut up. And that goes for Derek Carr too. All right? It goes for Derek Carr too. I don't want to hear from them because I see through their BS, and that's the problem. The Raiders have talent. The Raiders should win this football game, but they're not going to win this football game because they won't be able to stop John Gruden, as great as he is, and whoever he has on his coaching staff. And listen, I am no Lamar Jackson fan at all. Don't like him. I'll just say it. One of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, I said it, and I said it now. Overrated. But guess what? This is the Raiders, okay? This is a Raiders that supposedly seems like they're going in the right direction. Listen, they won some games last year. Well, guess what? They won some games last year because they weren't in anything else, and the games that they were playing meant nothing. I mean, when you're playing games that mean nothing, of course you look like you're coming back, or of course you're improving if you stay close or win a game. Of course. I mean, all you got to do is look at the most overrated quarterback that came out of it. His name slipped on my mind. No, it didn't. It just came to me. The most overrated quarterback and lived to get contracts on 5 football games is one of your former boys, Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, the last 5 games of the year before he left. Oh, look at how great he played. No, he didn't. He played against teams that it didn't matter. It didn't matter. So you got to find a team, and whether it's a coach, player, or whatever, when they're in a position where it matters. Here's the problem. The Raiders have not been in the position to where it matters. Last year, those good games didn't matter. Week number 1, guess what? Matters. So that's where we turn into this one, and we ask and say, well, are they ready to become that team that matters? And right now, when I look at the Raiders, regardless if they're at home or whether they're on the road, it doesn't matter. Because guess what? They will get a lot of things thrown at them that they are not expecting. And, well, hold it. They'll be expecting it. They just won't be able to stop it, Jim. And that will be – and I hate it. I hate picking Lamar Jackson because I hate him. But I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens because right now I see zero chemistry on the Raiders football team. I love their running back, and I love one of their wide receivers. His name is slipping my mind. But that's not going to get the job done. And listen, say whatever you want about Baltimore. They may not have that dominating defense that they used to have. It's still good enough to get past the Raiders. I'm on Baltimore on this one.
I'm on the Raiders on this one.
You are on the Raiders.
I'm on the Raiders for this one.
I got you right here, Raiders. What's your look on this? I mean, there's got to be a reason why you. I mean, granted, I'm not always right though. I mean, I picked Ryan Leaf as better than Peyton Manning. Yeah. So I've been known to be wrong.
As much as I hate the Ravens,
I do too.
This team has been decimated at the running back position.
Oh God, yeah, yes. Well, no, they got a running back. They got a running back.
Le'Veon Bell.
No.
Oh no,
Jackson.
That's what I'm saying. I'm leading up to that because here's what's going to happen today. Is I as much as I hate the Ravens, I feel bad. I mean, their top 2 running backs go down with injuries. Their running back that was going to be the second stringer after the 2 injuries, he goes down.
Yes.
Now they're down to 1 running back. So in desperation, they go out and they sign Le'Veon Bell,
which is not a horrible move, by the way.
No, but Le'Veon Bell is not Le'Veon Bell.
But he's washed.
And here's what's going to happen today: is that if you asked me this 2 weeks ago,
okay,
I would have been all over the Ravens to win this game.
Okay.
But because of the injuries and because of what's going to happen today, is Mr. Lamar Jackson is going to run the ball way too much today.
That'll be Monday, by the way.
Oh, Monday. He's going to run the ball way too much. And if they continue down that road, which they will unfortunately have to do, he is going to get hurt.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you right now.
I'm not saying it's going to be Monday night, but I'm saying over time he's going to get hurt.
Yep. And not only that, he's going to take some Cam Newton kind of hits too, I think.
So I think, back, what was it, last week I joined and we were, talking about, we were supposed to be talking the NFC West, the AFC West, and we spent a lot of time in the AFC North.
Yep.
And we talked and we asked, okay, where do the positions of, where do they stand? And I picked the Browns to win, the Steelers to finish second, and the Ravens to finish third.
Man,
I'm telling you, I don't know. The Ravens, I mean, I hate this. Yeah, their defense is good, but I don't know if their defense can take them that far. I mean, literally, I have been thinking about this the last couple of days. And even over the last week, I was like, man, if the Ravens don't watch out, and if things happen the way that they could happen, the Ravens could finish last.
Could you imagine that the Bengals could be better than they are? And listen, that's not a surprising thought because I was thinking the same thing. But it wasn't necessarily because of the running back, but it was more in the fact of what you said. They're going to see that desperation because they're not going to have a running game unless Le'Veon Bell, resurrects from 5 years ago. He's going to take that one Cam Newton hit that Cam Newton could stand up to, and he's not going to be able to. Listen, say whatever you want about Cam Newton. That dude was tough. And he is tough. Took way too many hits. But what you just said about as far as where they are within their division in Baltimore, as far as the defensive side of the ball, their linebackers are always outstanding, but their defensive line needs improvement unless someone gets to become stellar and gets to the quarterback. That means they're going to have a lot of time to throw the football against this defense. So regardless how good the linebackers are or the cornerbacks are, the cornerbacks are top 15, but guess what? It's going to be the secondary where they're going to be dropping the ball, and that's going to be a problem. Now, that also being said, when you looked at what you were talking about in the AFC North, you're talking about, wow, I picked Baltimore to finish third in this division as well. I just can't, as much as I see Cincinnati, maybe improving, it would blow my mind if Baltimore ended up last in this division. I don't think they win this division at all. All right. So say whatever you want, as far as who has what, but I don't think, and I could be wrong, I have the Browns winning this division. The more I was thinking about it, and listen, Bryce made some great points last week.
He did.
And he made me switch my pick. I had your Cleveland Browns there. He made me switch my pick. And not only that, when they just signed TJ, was it TJ? Yeah, TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
And made him, and listen, that changes the whole, mental outlook for this defense. Because before that, this guy was not in there. This guy was not there. He was there, but he was absent.
And Bryce said that last week.
Yes, and
he said they needed to put this to bed before game one.
And if they didn't, that would not go well for them. The fact they did it, by the way, so it's on record before they play a game. I switched it. I moved Cleveland to second. I got Pittsburgh winning this division. And the main reason why is when you get what you want, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Okay, listen, you can talk about paying your wide receivers, quarterbacks all day long, but when you got a stud who's not happy, that stud can make or break your football team. And when you make your stud happy, you make your football team. And that's the reason why I made the switch. And it's the reason why I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm the only one, okay, to win this division. Everybody else had Cleveland.
Bryce had the Steelers to win, right?
Hold on. Bryce
had the Steelers to win.
I got his picks here. So, yes, he did. He did.
Okay.
He had. So I'm right there with Bryce. So when I made my switch, I just wanted to make sure that it was public. So because I do have Pittsburgh winning the division, I dropped Cleveland. Listen, Cleveland's going to make the playoffs. They're supposedly a good football team. So we'll find out if they are.
But here's the thing: is about this game. The Ravens. I mean, and I guess I'm talking about this game, and I've already said Raiders going to win this game. Here's the thing. Can you imagine being in the Cleveland organization or the Steelers organization and seeing what has decimated the Baltimore Ravens over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And can you imagine their defensive coaches going, "Oh, yeah, baby. Can't wait." I hate to say this.
Okay.
There's going to be a bounty. Take Lamar Jackson out.
Yeah, and listen, if you got him, I think they're going to eat him up this year.
They are.
And I think listen, I haven't finished in third in this division for a reason, and that's just because I don't have any trust in the Bengals. If the Bengals were gonna, it would make my year to see the Baltimore Ravens be last in this division because it would prove me right. And of course, Sonny, that's why I do this show. I just want to be proven right, and I think I will be because I think this is the year. I mean, listen, the Wildcat. How many years did it take for him to figure out the Wildcat?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. What year is this for Lamar Jackson? 4 years.
4.
This is his 4th year. Listen, those defensive coordinators will figure out how to stop him. And I think this is the year. And then again, you go exactly what you said. You lost your running backs who would lead the run, okay, and take the big hit. Well, those guys are gone. The big hit's going to go against Lamar Jackson. And he's no Cam Newton. And he won't get up. You're going to break him off like a twig. And that's going to be a real big problem for them and what it is. He's coming back. We got him. We're not going anywhere as we're getting close to the beginning of kickoff. I don't mind going over the first portion of it, because we already talked about the games. It's usually in the evening games where we are. So that being said, that's the name of this show. That takes me to the game where you're sitting right here. Here it is. The Cleveland Brownies on the road, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is either going to be the best game of the year for them or their worst. And I say this really what we talked about last week. If they win this game, all your bandwagon Brown fans will be all over. We beat the Chiefs and everything else. But this is just because, and it's not because of you, not because I want the Browns to lose this football game. And the reason why I want them to lose it, because I want them to prove themselves. Listen, they did it last year, okay? They did it last year. They won games, and then they won another one. I want to see a bounce-back game. How mentally strong is the Cleveland Browns? Listen, I don't know very many people picking the Cleveland Browns, not because they hate your team or anything, just the better talent in reality is probably on the other side of the football. If you are going to be a Cleveland Brown fan and you want to see week number 2, how they bounce back after the loss, because I think they're going to lose the game. But I am more interested out of all the games for Cleveland. It's not this one. It's week number 2. I want to see how they react to what happens this week. Either win or lose, okay? If they win the game, do they come back and suck it up in week number 2 and lose that game after you just kicked someone's ass? Or do you lose this game, which I think is going to happen, and then who they got in week 2?
We got, damn it.
It's a team they should beat, by the way.
Definitely.
Whatever. Actually, I have it right here. I'm sorry. I can look it up just as easy as you. All right. So the Cleveland Browns have Houston. Okay. So, and if they don't skull drag the Houston Texans, then you know where your Browns are after a loss. And if they don't skull drag them if they beat the Chiefs, they're in a lot of trouble. Game number 2 is the most important, and it's the letdown game of the year for them, by the way, just to let you know. And they can ill afford to lose that game, whether they win or lose today. But what's best for Cleveland is to lose this game and get back at it and kick their ass. But I just don't see them winning today. There's just too many weapons on the side. And listen, Patrick Mahomes, I was reading this thing. If Patrick Mahomes retired, would he be a Hall of Famer? And listen, I can't say no. I mean, the guy's first of all, he's a class act, so that already gets you more points. Listen, you want to know how much of a class act this guy is? He goes into a restaurant, everybody leaves him alone. That's how much they love this guy. They leave him alone. He wanted to go have dinner with his wife. They left him alone. No one came up, got signatures, nothing. What does he do? Writes the check for everybody in that restaurant and pays for everybody's bill. That is class, by the way.
That is class.
All right. And then you add the talent up on top of it. They've got some good pieces. If anything, they got a little problem within their defense. But when you got Patrick Mahomes and you can score 42 points a game, you win football games regardless how bad the defense is. And listen, do I think that Baker Mayfield's going to make a mistake or 2 today? Yes. And if Patrick Mahomes makes a mistake, who's better off trying to make up after the mistake, Baker Mayfield or Patrick Mahomes? That's who I decided and how I picked this game, because who's better equipped to make up for a mistake? It's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if Baker Mayfield has it, at least in this game. Listen, they're going to win 10 games. I hate to say that. It makes me want to puke in my throat. They're going to win 10 football games, but it's just not going to be week number 1.
I'm laughing here because everything you just said, I could have said the same damn shit.
Great minds, man. Great minds, man.
I would have said the same. I cannot argue with you with anything that you have said. Especially, I was even going to go down the road before you even said it. Was the key game here is next week?
Yes.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real, because we are keeping it real. Because, like you said, if the Browns go out and some way, and I'm going to say this, and make sure you have this wherever you can bring it back up in case
right here.
Mr. Bryce comes on after I have to leave. But let him know that I did say my Browns are not going to win this game today.
No, it's matter of fact.
But I'm going to tell you, if they do win this game, next week is the key game.
Absolutely.
Do we have a letdown? And I'm not just saying a letdown and we barely win next week.
Oh,
I'm going to use the words. I'm going to use the words that you had just said probably about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
If the Browns if for some reason the Browns win this game today, they need to go out next week and they need to skull drag the Texans.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
And by the
not
way,
even let it be close.
And by the way, even if they lose today, they need to skull drag them.
I exactly agree.
Listen,
now that tells you the attitude of this team.
Absolutely.
Hey, we lost to the Chiefs. Yeah, we hated that. So guess what, Texans? We're going to take it out on you.
Guess what? You ready for this? It's your favorite line, and you won't admit it, but this is your favorite line. Win or lose, do the Cleveland Browns have the testicular fortitude to be the football team that wins their division and makes it deep in the playoffs? Listen, they don't make it to the Super Bowl. That won't surprise me, but they should make the playoffs. And do they have the testicular fortitude to be that tough team in the AFC North, like all the teams are, except maybe the Bengals, but the other three, black and blue division, going in and just kicking ass because you're the Cleveland Browns? We haven't said that since the 60s.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you something, buddy. I'm going to tell you something. That's what I hate about and I know I'm going to deviate just a little bit here. That's what I hate about my Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh.
I cannot stand, since the Jim Tressel years.
Yes.
We have been a very dominant team along with the wins. But I'm going to tell you something right now. That team that played yesterday, and that team that they played yesterday,
all right,
the Oregon Ducks, should have gotten blown out of the shoe. That's what makes me so mad, because this team, the Ohio State Buckeyes, are good. They have year after year after year a top-notch recruiting class. And you want to know what the difference between that stupid-ass team down south called Bama, and you want to know what the difference is between Ryan Day and Nick Saban and Ryan and what? God, I'm so mad. Nick Saban and who's the dude at Jacksonville now? Urban Meyer. You know what makes it? What is the difference between those two? Nick Saban has the killer instinct.
Yep.
You have a good team down, you crush his neck.
Absolutely. You step on their freaking neck into where you can't let them breathe. And if you let them have a breath, they can come back and beat you. And that's one thing that Nick Saban has always done. They could be up 50 and they're looking to go up 57.
Exactly. And that's the difference.
Yeah,
that's the difference, I believe, with this team for the Cleveland Browns this year, especially in the first 2 weeks. First 2 weeks are going to tell me a lot about this team.
Absolutely.
And tell me a lot about this coaching staff, and a lot about Baker Mayfield and OJ and OBJ and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and all these other guys, Clowney and Myles Garrett. It's going to tell me a lot.
Huge.
You have the opportunity. Week 2, no matter if you lose today or you win today. Next week, you had better come out and completely destroy Houston.
Absolutely. And
if you don't, and if they don't, I'm going to be a very disappointed fan.
You're going to drop him in a second? No, but
I hope you got this on tape, because I want Bryce to hear that.
It's right there. And listen.
I want Bryce to hear that.
And hopefully you will. We didn't get Bryce, and I thought we would get him because he usually comes in the last 20 minutes. We're at the top of the hour, which is not a big deal to me. I know you got to go, but I'm going to put it out, and I may be the only one. I am picking the Pittsburgh Steelers today over the Buffalo Bills.
That's crazy.
And listen, I know how crazy it is, and I know
what.
Yes, he's not even picking his team. Okay, he's picking the Buffalo Bills, and he's what? Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to beat the Buffalo Bills today. And the only reason why I said it, because I wanted to be on record before they kick off, because that is what I think is going to go down. I think The rebirth of the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be huge, and it starts with game one, and they shock the world, and then everybody will be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Bills. I know who you got because of your pick.
Yes, I picked the Bills, but
Yes.
listen to this. If you're right, it didn't start today. It started earlier this past week when they signed TJ Watt.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Well,
why.
I think that just took it over the edge because
The
when
NFL
we were talking last week, again, hey, Bryce sold me. I mean, listen, he had a bill of goods. I whipped out the wallet. I bought into almost everything he said because what he said made sense, but what he missed, the only thing he missed is Baker Mayfield was strong last year. And he proved everybody wrong last year, including me. So much so I didn't want to pick him. And that cost me the championship, by the way. I would have won the damn pool if I would have just picked the damn Browns in a game here and there, but I refused to do it because I don't like them. I didn't pick them this week either, so I might be just starting way behind.
Hey, let me tell you something. The Browns love you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sonny picked against us. We're gonna win.
Hey, I gotta go.
Yes.
I love it. It was great.
Anytime.
Tell Bryce, my man, I'm picking the Bills as well.
Yes, you're on the Bills. I can't believe it.
I'm scared. I'm scared to death because I think this could be a game where the Steelers come out and just bully the Bills.
I think they can. I think they
So,
can.
Anyway,
and so
I gotta go.
we'll see. Hasta luego. Good to see.
Bye.
He's OB. Bye. And guys, who are going to be back again for next week, week number 2 of the NFL, is why I'm holding on here. By the way, so the pick is out there. I am on the Rams. I hopefully Cuervo can get there and we can talk about that game. It's the important game on it. But depending on how long I got to wait for him to get back, will be the deal. So here's what we're going to do. It's 3 hours. Coffee. Wait, whoa. Speak of the devil. His ears were ringing and getting back. Cuervo, just to let you know, and I got to ask you.
Don't you get off yet.
I was there. Hey, I'm going to hang on. Listen, guess what I did? I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Buffalo Bills today.
You're crazy. What?
What? Yes.
You did what?
Even Bryce didn't pick his Pittsburgh Steelers today. So I'm going to ask you about it
first
because it's important. So what do you think? I mean, you got the Buffalo Bills, obviously the better team in the AFC East. They're a good football team. They're taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, they're on a high. They got their boy. They got TJ Watt. And listen, I don't know if you watched last week or listened to what Bryce said last week, but Bryce made me publicly change my pick to the Steelers to win this division and the Browns to come in second. He sold me a blade of goods, and I bought into it. But today's game, just by your reaction, makes it sound like, what? I'm crazy. Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think about it, Cuervo?
I got to hear this.
Well, no, I want to hear yours. I mean, I'm just on it. I mean, I bought into what Bryce said. And I think they're better than I even thought they were last year or this year.
No, Sonny, you ain't gonna convince me that the Steelers are gonna win this division. I'm interested to know what Bryce said to you. What type of hypnotism did he put you under? What kind of spell did he put you under?
Weak-minded. I'm weak-minded,
really
so I can be hypnotized.
But for today, look, Buffalo is just they're primed to win now. And
yes.
I don't see many teams stopping them in the AFC.
Normally, I don't think so either.
The Steelers are definitely not one of those teams that's going to stop Buffalo from reaching their goal and to get to the Super Bowl. And so
Oh, look at this. I'm already in trouble. 75-yard kickoff return by Buffalo. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd. Thank you, Todd. You're the man.
Oh, maybe their special teams needs a little help, obviously. So wonderful. Yeah, so by the way, he's keeping us abreast of what the games are now on Red Zone. So that being said, then so you're on Buffalo. Let's run to the Brownies and the Kansas City Chiefs there, Cuervo. Everybody across the board has Kansas City. How you got it?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Wait, everybody has KC
right now. Without your pick, everybody has Kansas City.
Even the Oakster himself.
Obi picked it. Hey, and Bryce picked against the Steelers and the Bills, and maybe it's because he's smarter than me. But hey, at least
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna roll with it too. So it's gonna be Kansas City across the board for everybody.
Yeah, Kansas. They're a better team, but just as we said last week, and we said again this week, listen, the Browns' season is next week against Houston. They need to skull drag Houston, and if they don't, we know who the Browns are. So it's like. Yeah, we know who they are, Jedi. So it is what it is. And now, Miami and New England. Interesting. We didn't get a chance to talk to you about this one as I went ahead and I went New England. And this one's a mix across the board. So what do you think? I mean, do you see the Matt Jones era being successful in week number 1 against Tua and the Miami Dolphins?
I bounced around with this.
I did too.
I actually do think that New England finds a way to win this game today. I don't know what it is. I just don't think that Miami's going to be ready for the new look with Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And,
no, it's not the new look. It's the right look. Listen, last year they didn't look like the Patriots. With Mac Jones, they look like the Patriots.
Well, because they have more of a pocket passer now. Is that why?
No, because they have a real pocket passer like Tom Brady in the backfield. I mean, listen, Cam Newton is not a pocket passer. That's not Patriot football.
By the way, I want to talk about Cam for a second.
Go ahead.
Did you hear some of the comments that he made, Sonny, recently about him being cut by the Patriots?
I heard some of it, but not on his side.
Okay. So he did an interview with, he did an interview with someone. And
yeah,
I'd be lying if I told you who I knew who it was, but I don't remember who. First of all, he was wearing a ridiculous hat and he looked like a freaking rooster. Okay. Like, all right. Which auntie did you get that hat from? From which closet? But anyways, so he basically, what he was saying, Sonny, is that the reason that he got cut is because he was going to be a distraction in the locker room. What have we been talking about? His ego, right? Mm-hmm. We've been talking about his ego. We've been talking about how he'd rather be the 32nd starting quarterback than one of the top backups in the league.
Said it on this show.
Right. That right there solidifies what we've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
That right there solidifies that Cam loves him some Cam. Just like the old T.O. saying, I love me some me. And that's Cam Newton right now.
Mm-hmm.
And look, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should be, you got to believe in yourself. If
absolutely.
Nobody else does, right?
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, though, man. Like, you got to be humble though too. And
I agree.
You got to know that when you're not capable of doing certain things anymore, whether it's physically, whether it's because, mentally you're just not there, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all right. You can still believe in your abilities, but you got to know where you stand.
Fess up when you mess up.
Yeah, because that's where you mess up. And like I said, you let your ego get in the way, and that's why he's going to be sitting on his couch like we are. He's going to be couch potatoes like we are, watching everybody else play. That's why he's not on a team.
Hey, listen, you say whatever you want. Now, did he say that he was going to be the distraction, or did he say the coaches said he was going to be the distraction, or do you remember?
He didn't specify. He just said that the reason he got cut is because they knew I was going to be a distraction. That was exactly
so he's putting it on them. Well, guess what? They were probably right.
Yep.
Okay? Because not only that, I don't know if you heard it. I'll just remind you of it if you had. There were reports that Mac Jones was teaching Cam Newton the playbook.
I heard about that too.
So,
in fact, I think it was you that mentioned it.
Was it? Maybe I did. But when I heard that, I knew it was done. And now, I thought maybe he'd stay as a backup, but then again, I should have thought what I think of Cam Newton. Here I'm thinking maybe he'll be a team player, but guess what? It just goes to show Bill Belichick knew that would be a pain in the ass. It would hurt the morale of his football team. And he said, you know what, let's just cut ties with this now so we don't have to explain it during the season. What a genius move, by the way. Right? I mean, Cuervo, you don't have to explain why you get rid of Cam Newton off the field distraction in week 2 or 3. You just get it done before the season starts, and then you have to explain how bad Mac Jones plays when he plays it, and that's the end of the story. Now, there'll always be that one straggling question. Well, I bet you wish you had Cam Newton now. Well, the answer to that question will be no, regardless, because, listen, Cam Newton never fit what the Patriots ever done. Ever. They never were this way. So how do you expect Cam Newton, being a totally different type of quarterback, to come in and change the way that he plays? Because, listen, the Patriots are going to play Patriot football. If anybody's going to change, it's going to be Cam Newton, or he's not going to be there. That's the reason why he's not there, because the way he is, he would not have taken the backup role quietly, and he would have made a whole bunch of problems. Yep. So it was a good move.
No, I think it was too. You cut ties. It was a no harm, no foul type move. It didn't really cost anything.
Yep.
Did you say Eckler touchdown?
Yeah, Eckler. So the Chargers up 7-0 over Washington. Falcons 3, Eagles 0, and Arizona is driving right now against Indianapolis.
Fantasy points.
Eckler.
Yeah,
there you go. So that'll lead us to. I don't know if you have a lot to say about the Green Bay Packers taking on New Orleans. Right now, it's Green Bay across the board. I heard rumblings all week that this is going to be Jameis Winston's, next big game. Now we're going to get a different Jameis Winston. But guess what? Jameis Winston's been in this league for more than 5 years. Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston, which means he sucks.
Yeah, well, at this point, what better option do the Saints have, Sonny? You really going to?
It's Taysom Hill. It is, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. I was wondering what the hell was wrong with Sean Payton. I always thought he was smarter than me, and I realized as we were doing this show, he is. He's not putting Taysom Hill as a starter against the Green Bay Packers. Why? Because Sean Payton knows how to stroke a person's ego. If they would have put Taysom Hill in there and they got their asses handed to him, that would, depending on what type of guy he is, why not put in Jameis Winston? You're not going to win this game anyway. He knows they're not going to win this game, Cuervo. So why not put in Jameis Winston and save the mentality of Taysom Hill and maybe have him come back in week number 2 or 3, depending upon the schedule? Listen, Sean Payton's not an idiot. They're not winning today, and he knows it.
Yeah, I know it too, and it makes me puke in my mouth.
I know.
Green Bay's going to win today.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Sorry.
Bad taste left in your mouth, too. The Denver Broncos and the Giants. This one was a tough game.
Sonny, let's hold off on that game.
Okay.
Let's hold off on that game for now, please.
All right, hold up. Well, then that takes me to the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to take you to Monday Night Football before we get to your Bears, okay? So Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens take on the Raiders on Monday night. What do you got?
I like the Ravens. I like the Ravens to go in there and get the win. I'm going to be watching on the Peyton and Eli version of Monday Night Football. So have you heard about that?
No, what is this?
Okay, so I think they're going to do it on ESPN2.
Or
Plus. You're going to get the Manning brothers kind of breaking the game down as it's going along.
Really?
Yes. And I'm very excited about it, Sonny.
Okay. Well, you'll just have one good opinion and the other one just sucks. And just like the gays when they play. So what's the difference, you know?
I'll listen to Peyton, but Eli,
Look at that. Detroit missed a 51-yard field goal. And right now, Tennessee trails Arizona 3-0. Indy up 3-0 on Seattle. So that being said, then let's go to your Bears. The Chicago Bears. By the way, I didn't pick your Bears.
Why?
I did not.
Why, Sonny?
Why? Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Okay, and this is not hard. Okay, because I was looking at the Rams and everything, but then and I saw the talent there, and then I looked at the Bears and I thought just one thing:
the Bears are who we thought they were.
That is the reason why.
You always say that, Sonny.
Bears are who we thought they were.
I gotta do it twice. They're really impact.
You always say that.
Listen, I don't know. I'm trying to believe what people think about Matthew Stafford. I'm trying. I mean, how many years did we defend him as a Lion? So maybe I'll give him 1 year. I'm gonna try to believe what they listen. Say whatever you want. I've always thought Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than your boy Andy Dalton. But the question is, how long will the experiment of Andy Dalton go? Okay, in reality, when you got a guy like Field that can turn your football team around like Dak Prescott did when he took over for Tony Romo.
Sonny, at least for tonight, Sunday Night Football, Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they saved the best for last today, Sonny.
Uh-huh.
I don't care unless you absolutely have to. If Dalton goes down with an injury, then yes, you have to put Fields in.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, though, I don't care. This is just me. I don't care if Andy Dalton throws 5 interceptions, Sonny. He will stay in that game. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. You know what, Monkey? Go get a banana and go somewhere else.
Oh, that was terrible. Crazy knuckleheaded terrible.
Now I got Barkley.
Yeah, you got Barkley on you, too.
No, nobody asked you, Barkley. Jeez. Karl Malone was better than you. But anyways.
There you go.
No. Here's the thing. So I don't care how bad Dalton plays. He needs to stay in that game because, and this sounds messed up, but you can't afford to throw Justin Fields into that situation with that Rams defense with Aaron Donald.
I agree.
Okay, and then what happens? He flat He pancakes Justin Fields, and then what?
Yeah.
Now you got to go to Nick Foles.
So let me get this straight. You think the starters should be Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, then Justin Fields?
Yeah. I think Fields should be the emergency quarterback.
Hey, by the way, this just in case you didn't know it. And I don't think I'm breaking too much news. Andy Dalton sucks. Okay, so in case you didn't know, okay,
here we go.
Did you watch him at all in Dallas last year? Did you watch?
Yes.
Did you watch the damn game?
Yes, Calvin Watkins. I watched the game.
Randy Galloway.
Randy Galloway. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Randy Galloway. I watched the damn
all right.
game.
On record, who are you going to pick in this game?
Well, Sonny, so it's weird. Obi picked against his team today.
He did.
Bryce picked against his team today.
I didn't.
You picked your Jaguars today.
No, I know, but I picked the Steelers. I'm the only one. I'm on the island, by the way.
Okay. Did you pick the Jaguars or the Texans today?
Oh no, I damn near picked I damn near picked Houston because it's week number 1. Both teams sucked, but I took Jacksonville.
Okay, so you did not pick against your team.
Nope.
All right. Well,
listen, if they were playing probably any other football team, I would have. But it is Houston.
I'm also going to pick against my team today.
Wow.
It
wow.
hurts to say.
I was going to say that had to hurt. I mean, that couldn't have felt comfortable at all.
Yeah.
So
no, it's not good.
So Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, then Fields in an emergency state. I got it. Makes sense to me. And I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing right now. Is she home?
Yep.
She is home. And we have the Denver Bronco expert.
We sure do.
Listen, we need some kind of expertise on this show.
Yeah.
So what does she have to say? Is she there?
You ready?
Oh, hold on. Before we do it, wait. Let me see if let me just see if I got it still. Hold on. No, I erased it. All right. I was gonna do something, but I couldn't do it. I already erased it. I already took the game off of the board, so I don't have it, unfortunately, in front of me.
Okay, no worries, Sonny.
All right, so hey, here's the expert, the Denver Bronco expert. Let's hear from her. It's definitely Cuervo's better half. So
much better.
Much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we bring the debut of the future, Mrs.
Cuervo. Mrs. Cuervo, good to see you, dear. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. What do you think about your team today? You have the Broncos. They got a tough one. What do you think?
Oh, I think they're going to win for sure. I always think they're going to win. I got to be positive.
So if they play it, so if they played the Kansas City Chiefs, you would pick them to beat the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes, I would definitely pick them. I'll never go against my team.
Okay. So you're one of these. You gotta pick your team. Gotta stay with them. Don't alter from them. What do you think about? And I know you've seen them. What do you think about Teddy Bridgewater? What have you seen here in the preseason?
Well, I saw only one game with school. It's been hard, but I've seen a lot of the how do you call it, the like just
preseason
the clips,
highlights.
Yeah, the highlights of the games and stuff. And honestly, I just think he's going to be much better than Locke for sure.
Drew Lock.
For sure. Locke.
What is Locke? What is he don't have that you think that Teddy can bring to your team?
Well, Locke, in my opinion, was he never connected. He could never connect. Okay. He either underthrew, overthrew. He got, when he was under pressure, when he was in the pocket and he was under pressure, he choked.
Yep.
He could never accomplish anything. He wasn't a runner. Like, he just stood there and got sacked. So it's like, I just think he doesn't have what it takes for sure.
I have mad love for Teddy Bridgewater. Ask Cuervo. I got mad love. I didn't pick him today, but I got mad love for Teddy Bridgewater. I think before he got hurt, he was their future in Minnesota. But today, the Denver Broncos, they're actually on the road, aren't they?
New York. They're in New York.
They're in New York, and that's a football team. Listen, we talk a lot about how bad Eli Manning has been, but they're not much better. Take a look at this; you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, you see it right here. You see it. Yeah, so didn't quite make it. So I'm okay with your pick. This was a game where I didn't mind anybody being on the other side because it is week number 1 in the NFL. And when you got teams where they're not as good as maybe as another team, these two going up against each other, I think is a good challenge for that team. You know, whether it be the Giants or the Broncos. See how they get us started on the first part. But I did take the and who did you take, Cuervo? By the way, you haven't fessed up on who you're going to take in this game.
I know.
And I'm glad that she's right there because I haven't seen a good ass kicking in a long time. So maybe we just might get it today.
He's going to have a long honey-do list.
I know that list as long as my arm. I know this one.
The threats just keep coming.
Yes, they do.
No, I actually do like Denver today because, you know, I'm liking what I see with them on defense. I think they improved a lot in the secondary as well.
I do too.
You know, adding Kyle Fuller, you know, drafting Patrick Surtain.
Miller's back too, isn't he?
Von Miller's back. That's right.
Yes, that's the big one.
Who are you looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking forward to seeing Vaughn because obviously last season he was out the entire season. I'm looking forward to seeing Vaughn, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how Bridgewater does in his first actual season game with the Broncos. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Should they have gotten rid of my listen, they had a lot of running backs on that team last year, but they got rid of my guy, Philip Lindsay. They shipped him to the Texans. I think that hurt him. Do you think that hurt him losing a guy like him?
I think they'll be okay without Lindsay. He was good, but I think they'll be okay.
Got it. All right. So there you have it.
They'll be good. I mean, the Giants haven't done good in years. I mean, since they won the last Super Bowl, back in 2010 or something?
Yeah, the hat catch, the lucky hat catch. He's let Eli make Lucky's got the second ring.
They have not done well since then. They've been garbage since then. So,
a dumpster fire is what she's saying. I love it.
So
finally, someone agrees with me that Eli Manning sucked. Okay, so this is good. Yeah. I love it. I'm beginning to like her more and more every day. This just works out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there you go. She's the future Mrs. Cuervo.
That's right.
Cuervo with the twist right there. There she is, the Broncos fan. House divided, but a lot of fun. It should be good. So that's it for me.
Right.
Anything else that you got there, Cuervo?
As far as questions for this one?
Or anything in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went over. Did we get them all? Yeah.
I got all of them.
Yeah, I picked New England.
I got a full pick for everybody. Yes, I did it by hand, by the way. This is how real people do it by hand. You know, don't let the computers do. You do. That's right. That's right. You're going old school on you right there.
Todd says he says nice to meet you. He's also a Bronco fan.
By the way, Houston's up 7-0, if we believe it or not. So watch out for that. So interestingly enough,
Tyrod Taylor. Hey, you never know.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor. Hey, takes the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in years, and then they get rid of them. Talk about a bitch slap. Hey, but it is what it is. All right, that's gonna do it. You good there, Cuervo?
I am. I'm good. And I think
all set for the NFL. Yep, we're there. That's going to do it for the Couch Potato Sports Show. Back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Don't miss it. Or not tomorrow. Next Sunday, we'll do week number 2. We'll see you then, everybody. Bye-bye.